3.
Move. We are live. Welcome to the Michigan Bros Grow Show.
Extravaganza.
Episode 194 on our
Cheers,
road to
everybody.
200. Cheers.
Should we do something crazy for 200?
Like,
What is
what's that?
I don't know.
I want to
What
do
are
a
we-
another giveaway,
100
honestly. But,
Oh, we could do a duck race, Dad. Those are always fucking
well,
crazy.
yeah, but we already
Sounds
said
fun.
we want to do one in between. I don't know. What will we do for craziness?
I don't know. Let's have some suggestions. What should be
brainstorm.
craziness?
200 milligrams of
Oh my God.
mushrooms. Mushrooms.
I'm not signing up for that one.
Okay, so I did take a microdose with Becca the other day and had a great time.
She was laughing up a storm. Oh my gosh. She thought I was just so funny. And I know I'm not that funny, so it was so
You are, Becca. You are.
okay.
It was awesome.
She had the littlest little bit of a nibble and it
Tiny. Just a morsel. But that's what I need because then I didn't hate it and I loved it. So
I mean,
good.
I guess to be fair, 200 milligrams of mushrooms is a 0.2 microdose. So I'm getting crazy, guys.
I don't know. I think I'd have to pass on that one.
you probably had like a 0.05.
Yeah, you probably had
Yeah.
it.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
And that was good though, because it wasn't like too much and I didn't get all like weird like I normally do. And it was enjoyable. How about that? It was way enjoyable.
I'm glad.
It doesn't always have to be some competition. I love the idea of microdoses and just small little. That's when it's more on the medicinal side of things. There's a place for the other side too, for sure. But that's usually recreational.
Yeah. You know, I've done a couple of big hefty doses and
What are those?
this doesn't benefit.
It's like he's wearing a Crusaders cap.
Oh my goodness.
Spanish Crusader.
That looks like a pie on a plate.
It does, doesn't it?
It's like an old bonnet, like a little girl would wear with a strap.
This is
Totally.
what is it? Big Mac. Big Mac.
Mac.
mushroom.
Big Mac. Ooh.
You started naming mushrooms after a weed?
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think it's like named after the burger.
Oh, or the burger.
Big Max. I think it's M-A. Is it M-A-X? I don't know. I threw the bag away that had it written on it, put it in the jar, but I don't know. Yeah. Shout out to Third Eye Craft Affair. Shout out to Third Eye Muse. Shout out to all of the vendors at the Third Eye Craft Affair. You can
Nice.
go and lots of caregivers, lots of medicine people, and source all of your goodies there.
Love it. So glad you had a good weekend.
We had a great weekend, and I want to thank. Well, Tara, I got to see you last week, and it would have been great to see you again and get a chance to come out. But you had, we get into it, you had yourself a nice little weekend yourself. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah, I get to be a grandma soon. I can't wait. I got to celebrate a baby shower this weekend for my grandson. So got lots of love to give around for everybody. Super happy that our family and friends turned out. And it was a really good weekend to share the love and to see everybody coming out to wish this new baby a great existence. And I'm just super stoked. And I'm so thankful for you guys too, because I've got to spend a couple weeks with you guys helping out. And I really, really appreciate you guys letting me do that.
You're the one helping us, man.
Yeah,
it was
dude.
amazing. And
Yeah,
You guys are helping me too.
I could not trim as much as we got done. So I appreciate everything.
Happy to help. You're
We-
giving back to me just friendship and talking and sharing. And I get to look at your garden and your chickens. And it's a good time.
This is what we came home with.
Oh my gosh, I love it. What is that?
This is some gorilla breath.
Okay.
The gorilla breath left over, but
Wow.
this is what we came home with.
That's awesome after everything.
This is what we came home with. We
Definitely a good one.
we took a couple jars with us. We had a weekend of events. Again, we'll linger into all the fun events because the Baked was out, Spartan was out of the hibernation hole.
Yeah, we can start
I
with Jim's and Jags, I guess.
I was playing Driving Miss Daisy with Baked, man. I drove him all the way out
What
there.
is that? What is that? Driving Miss Daisy?
You were
Like,
Daisy.
There's
Hey,
like,
mofo, you were Daisy.
yeah, it's like where one person drives the other. Like, One person's the chauffeur, the other person's like being
That's why I always
chauffeured
say
around.
everybody's
Big,
driving.
you had on a big hat. You were Miss Daisy.
I don't mind because I hate driving, so it's nice not to drive.
No, yeah, I think we both feel the same way. So I mean, it was
Yeah,
cool.
but I feel a little bad because I'm like, I know you hate it. Well,
No, it's not. No, it's good company.
Far drive all the way out there to Muskegon.
yeah, especially for y'all. Y'all the extra like 45 minutes, hour.
It was longer than I expected, but you know, we just got talking about shit, and we weren't even listening to the fucking radio. It's just we got talking about. It seems like there's always something to talk about. So that I can't imagine if I was in that car by myself, it would spend like 10 times longer. It was
Yeah, first exactly. Well, that's what I always tell people: driving by yourself sucks.
yeah.
But yeah, he tried to put on
That's a long drive to Muskegon by yourself. I've made that drive. And had to
Yeah.
keep that for like training and stuff, and it's just it's so daunting. And then on the way home is even worse because like you go out there for like what? We went out there for 8 hours and had a thing, but you know, you do something for like even a couple hours or just meet
Yeah.
for a lunch and then try to drive back home. You're like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fell asleep on the way home. I did something bad. I was a bad passenger and I fell asleep. I felt really bad.
Well, sometimes it happens.
I did my fair share of sleeping in the car this weekend too. That's why I catch up on it, you know.
I
Go for
try
that.
not to, but
she put
I
on
try not to either, but
Joe Rogan and Joey Diaz, and so they kept me. It was a good
They're hilarious.
them guys talk. Yeah.
so who was there? We saw so many people. Oh my gosh!
Well,
just in
now
chat.
in chat, I see Red Eye Rustler who was there.
Yep.
Blue
Here's
Kid,
Red Eye.
Blue
Big
Kid,
Jar,
Big Jar,
Organically blunt.
these nugs,
Blue
Chuck's
Kid.
Bees Nugs. Yeah, I got his.
oh nice.
Baked Alaska,
Yep, I plan on smoking
Love
that
that.
tonight.
nuggets
And
here.
strawberry headband.
Oh wow.
Cowboy
Oh
headband.
my goodness.
I like the square
I do
container.
too, yeah, I
Oh,
did.
I love it.
So we're check them out. We'll roll a joint.
Is it
Yeah,
Chuck D
shit
Nuts? Is that what it
reeks.
was?
Yep,
Oh,
Chuck
yeah.
D's nuts. It's
Nice.
right here.
He's in chat.
Phenomenal.
And guys,
Yeah.
it smells really good too. It's not all in
Yeah.
the packaging. It is
Yep.
very.
Then we got
It's also very.
Him and Big Jar came out together.
Big Jar gave me some skunk bow, #1.
That skunk
Love
bowl
it.
smells good too. I got some of that down here too.
Oh, I've got those to pop.
Me too. I've got some of those.
I know.
Organic.
Big hooked me up with a big nug of the what was it? French something fries, disco fries.
Oh, Disney fries. That's what I'm about to
I
try.
want to try that.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Dude, we got some fries
Good man.
from the chicken. What was it?
Rotisserie
Rotisserie chicken food truck, and they had put like some. You can get them right now because they're out all over the place. Some like green onions chopped up on these French fries.
Oh, nice.
Oh my god, dude! And if you don't have green onions growing in your backyard, well, go
Okay.
in the woods because there's ramps.
How,
everywhere.
how crispy were the fries?
They were
They were
pretty crispy,
so
dude. They were
good.
really
Oh yeah, I should try that. Then.
Dude, 10 out of 10. I loved them.
We ended up
went and got
going
some
steak and shake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bacon shake. Oh my goodness.
Fuck yeah.
The crispiest
Wow.
of fries.
They got good grilled cheeses, good milkshakes, and
Self-serve.
amazing fries.
They got
Their
great
fries are so small you can't fuck them up.
Do you dip your fries in the milkshake?
No, I'm not one of those people, but
I
I
do.
don't hate on people that do
I
that.
do.
I think my
I do.
dad did that.
I dip it.
They used to do the frosty, at Wendy's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
Love
was my
that.
shit, man.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
But
there's, there's an unreal amount of shout outs to see. Frogroli was vending.
Rolly.
there.
Really there?
We didn't get a chance to do much communicating. I don't know if Working Class Stoner is listening to the show, but
He was there. He was right next to you guys, wasn't he?
He was right next to us. And if he is listening, or even if he's not, huge shout out to him. This was his first event that he vended. He and his girlfriend, fiance, wife,
Wife.
wife were
Carly's
there. Sorry about that. They were there together, and dude, I'll tell you what. Yeah, there you go, Spartan. Show off some of their product right there.
Oh nice.
We got some microgreens from them. They brought some microgreens, some THC infused olive oil. They had I just had some amazing homemade fettuccine Alfredo that Becca just whipped up, but they had their own version of a homemade Alfredo, fettuccine Alfredo that they had available at their table.
There he is.
They had the pots behind their booth going. They had the heat lamps and everything
That's
on.
awesome.
There's some
That's
more of his
here.
product. Is that some of his syrup? The
Yeah.
maple
Yep.
syrup?
Oh wow.
They tapped that this year.
I got
That's
his. Yep.
nice. Very
I'm not
good.
100% on that, but I believe they tapped that this year.
Yeah, I
They
think he said it
did
was
in his
his birthday.
backyard. He pulled those right out
Wow.
of his backyard.
Awesome.
His first time trying it.
WCS,
Yeah,
shout
those
out,
guys.
man. That was cool.
They really had some awesome,
Very
unique
cool.
products. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I grabbed his broccoli microgreens. They're in the fridge right now. I haven't got a chance to try them yet, but I'm pretty stoked about that. I love
I'll tell you
BC
what,
the
they are
microgreens.
longevity microgreens because those suckers lasted. We accidentally left them in the truck last night, and so they lasted like all day in the truck, the fledge, you know, and
They did
yeah,
fine.
they did fine. They're in the fridge now, crisping back up. I suppose worst case scenario, throw them in some water, and they might rehydrate, recrispy up
We're gonna
again.
try
But
'em in the morning.
yeah, dude, we're gonna put them in our eggs. Radish and the broccoli microgreens. Super geek. I promised him he'd be a part of my monologue today, so there you go. This is part of that monologue, I suppose. Cheers, working class. No, he did an awesome
Yeah.
job. He had a great attitude. He was personable. He did the whole thing. He was cat calling and doing the whole night. No, I'm just kidding. But he was definitely doing the thing.
That's
Huge
great.
shout out to the promoters of Gems and Genetics.
Yeah.
I know those guys watch the show just the same, and they do an awesome job. Dan, his brother, everybody that's involved with those guys, the whole Gems and Genetics like family, the whole like all the workers and everybody, a lot of the same faces coming through, and they're a pleasure to work with. You know, I would say that I also have to shout out Trish with the Michigan Weedsters, who was there. Also, Mike O'File with Decrim Nature Michigan, who's working on more ballot initiatives to get a Decrim All initiative. That would be all plant entheogens on a gift, gather, grow model. He wants to, you know, avoid kind of some of the things that happened with cannabis and kind of make it so that we have like a bit of a craft, you know, chamber of commerce type of a thing, so to speak. And he's putting a lot of stuff together for that. Trish is also putting a lot of stuff together for the caregiver small batch side on the Michigan Weedster side. So huge shout out to the grassroots efforts coming through in Michigan. Huge shout out to these events, whatever you want to call swap meets, craft shows, farmers markets. Huge shout out to all of them, private events, public, adult events, you know, that where adults can make their own, you know, good or bad decisions freely. This as you know, people. Organically Blunt was there providing some content. And if Fabric of the Universe, Cactus, guys, lots of art, lots of gemstones and such, lots of great products, a lot of crafters, man.
Oh, across from you, that table that had the stones, they had Petoskey stones, and they had some Petoskey stones cut in the shape
Yeah.
of the Lower Peninsula. I was like, oh my god, those are fucking
That's
dope.
cool.
Gosh, I would have bought that.
Yeah, that's
I'm a sucker for Petoskey stones.
that was where Fabric of the Universe was set up. He was kind of like bouncing around a little bit from some buddies, but he does grafting of cactus, and it's really cool. So he definitely helps out with the medicines, you know, the mescaline medicines with the Huachuma, San Pedro cacti, and the peyote buttons, which he grafts to the San Pedro and speeds up the life of those, so that people don't have to go stomping on, you know, protected tribal land and destroy the natural habitats of these species. You know, they can be grown indoors. So, you know, just a lot involved with this. You know, it is it's an awesome event. We love supporting Gems and Genetics. There will be another Gems and Genetics at a different location, camping 2-day event, the 9th through the 11th, but we're vending the 9th and the 10th. Let's see, that is at Sarnes Resort, Morley, Michigan, in June, and we're only about 6 weeks away from that. So we're already gearing up for that one. Yeah, way over there. We're
will definitely get that.
on his hand down there, just above the middle line there. I hope I got everybody, man. I'm sure I'm missing a ton of people. Well, today even more people came out because we had the Fledge event today. Shout out to Hamborn grown, and
I saw Dro came out today.
Dro came out.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Huge support. He got some strawberries and cream clones, so he's going to be running some of that, and he's going to do it
Nice.
Oh, he's gonna do phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
How did you do on clones? Were people picking up any clones?
Dro did.
Good.
Yeah, Dro definitely did. Yeah,
Good.
those that knew, they got their hands on some. That was more for the people that wanted the clones.
Yeah,
It's
truly.
very few and far between. The growers come out, and of course, like a lot of people have already stocked up on clones this year.
We were doing them in 4-pack, so you had to get 4, and so
Yeah,
it's
we
a
weren't
bit
just
more.
selling single clones. We were kind of selling the genetics and then making it worth.
But still, that was a great 4-pack. I mean, come on, you get 4 of one strain to like put in either your indoor or your outdoor garden to get you started. A great starter pack, I feel,
And it's a fire strain. You got the representation of it right there in front of you.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know
we
what I
got
mean?
the flower there. Anybody could actually go to like New Standard, any of their stores, and look
I already
up
smoked it.
their strawberries and cream test results on any of their stores, because they have up-to-date recent test results that come out of that same cut that we gave them.
Well, just so you know, your strawberries and cream is creeping around Cincinnati right now.
It's people are loving it. It's like just so pretty. It's such a pretty smoke. It's so frosty, and it gets purple, and it's just like.
And I understand those that might go, I'll pass that up because of the 4 count requirement or anything. But when you start to crunch numbers, and the plant will produce indoor 6 ounces, on an average size, 4-week veg, 6-week veg.
I
It's
should
also
post the video I took of
number one
when it was the
the water
hash falling down, the avalanche of hash.
as it drops hash like crazy. Now the one thing is I haven't washed anything less than 150 microns, so I don't have that information for people. Right? I have representation right in front of us of what we get out of like for a 150 with dry sift. It's right there. It looks clean. It's great. But we don't have anything smaller micron size wise. But the smell, the flavor, the texture, you can get all of that there. Objectively, most people don't know this, but when we run out of cannabis, the first thing that we run out of is strawberries and cream. So that speaks a lot into to where that genetic could potentially what that could do for the farmer. Right.
Guys, I bought Hippie Crasher, Gorilla Breath, Grape Jelly, and Strawberries and Cream pre-rolls from them on my way out the door. And the first one I smoked on the way out the door was Strawberries and Cream.
Oh, dude.
It's so funny because everybody
to pull off and take a nap.
Pick of how they smoke it, and it's like I will smoke that all day long, even at night. Oh, I love it. It's great flower.
Thank you.
Is it easy to trim?
Yes.
Excellent.
Incredibly
That's another
phenomenal to
huge selling
trim.
point.
Of course, they gave me the easy things to trim because I suck, So they gave me the easy things to get through.
It holds itself up. It doesn't need to be managed.
No, I barely had to do anything to it. That Gorilla Breath, Flow, phenomenal trimmers.
Flow, yeah, Flow's a fun one.
Oh gosh, I got great feedback on the Flow.
Good.
Great feedback.
We are out of it, but
we love
we
it.
still have it.
I love it.
It was a really great run of it.
This run, there's something a little.
I don't know. There was something about it.
Good.
I agree.
This is totally anecdotal, but now that you guys say that, I've always had my best test results in the first quarter of the year in terms of lab testing.
Yeah,
and we're talking indoor. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know why that is, because I've mostly always had controls, like environmental controls in my grow rooms that can combat, whatever Michigan throws at us for the most part. But yeah, I've always gotten the best test results in February, March, April.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I've always had this like hunch, right? Okay, so the most recent example of this are you guys okay? What's that? Is he falling up the stairs? Okay. You'll just come upstairs and make some noise.
Oh,
Most recent
Big
example of
steps.
this. I'm first going to beat around what I'm actually talking about before we discover it.
Suspense.
Our bearded dragon Joe, right?
No.
Our bearded dragon Joe,
no.
what goes into hibernation, even though her environment doesn't change.
Yeah.
And so that tells me something also. She has the same amount of daylight, nightlight. In fact, she's exposed. She's in our grow room. She's got plant lights coming on all different times. Like it's spring and summer in her room at all times. So,
Well, dude, she's an autoflower. It's okay. You just gotta understand.
yeah. So she did some what's it's not called hibernating. What's it called?
It's called brew mating.
Brew mating. So she did her brew mating this year. And now she's shedding and everything, and it's a seasonal cycle, but she's not exposed to the like to the sun up and down. She's not exposed to weather patterns. And in my mind, I think that there's some other stuff going on. Maybe it's gravity, moon phase, maybe it's radiation because we don't have infrared barriers on our ceiling. And so maybe there's certain types of radiation, microwaves, some of these things that we don't see, some of these things we don't actually test for with the instruments that we use. You know, we're not testing the nitrogen levels in the air, the barometric pressure that changes at all times. I mean, you know, we're at average sea level of things like 14.7, PSI, barometric pressure scale. As you change in elevation, that number goes up and down, but also as you change in seasonality and as you change the weather patterns, you get a storm coming in, your barometric pressure changes. And I have a feeling that all of that stuff changes with the seasons. And as our spring equinox and as we get closer to the summer solstice, I think that there are some things that we don't see, we feel, and some of us may acknowledge in the form
seasonal depression.
yes, exactly. And I think it has a lot to do with getting more sunshine and vitamin D, and maybe there's scientific things that we can see with that. But what about all of the things that we cannot see, the dark matter type things, right? The microwaves, the X-rays, all of these other things.
Full cannabinoid of the sun
levels, CO2 levels that change. Well, we're monitoring CO2, but we're rarely monitoring oxygen and nitrogen and all of these other varying things that plants are expelling and inhaling. And yeah, I think that there's a lot more going on when the seasons change. That our calculations, we're studying humidity, we're studying temperature and CO2, typically only those three things, and then our light levels. So we might be studying 4 factors, and there could be hundreds of factors going on in that grow room throughout the season, especially depending on your altitude and all kinds of things that are going on. So yeah, man, I love this time of year for that reason. I don't know the reason either, but I think it might have something to do with maybe the humidity's coming back, maybe drying and curing gets a little bit easier. Well, for sure the light, but our plants are in their own space without the light. So I think
it's the cool temperatures, the lower humidity makes everybody's dry and cure better because most people, that's the last place, unfortunately, that they button up.
Yeah, invest in the controls. Or just build a room for it, even.
Exactly. That's my fucking dying fucking thing. Is like my soapbox is just build a dry room like you would build a grow room. Yeah, and
what blows, I mean, I know we've talked about this before, but like what blows my mind is that's always like a last thought for the commercial facilities.
It's it's irritating.
We're gonna run this, I don't know how long is a marathon? It's like 26.2 miles or something like that. We're going to run the 26 out of the, 26.2 miles of the marathon and just give up with the last 0.2 left. Like,
it's more like let's spend millions sometimes of dollars setting up these state of the art grow rooms, and then let's try to be cheap on the dry cure. What?
Let's be sending it all fresh frozen. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah, exactly, man. So we don't need a dry cured room. We just need a room full of freezers.
I mean, that's where I'm at with it. But, occasionally I'll swap out one of the grow rooms to dry some stuff. It just depends on the cycle of things. I actually just filled it back up today, right before the show started. I filled up took all the 1 gallon clones and put them in the GML room, if you will, just to kind of get them blasting. I got all the
You
mothers
got a
in the tent.
GML room and you got what, HLG room?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess if we had to define it based on the lights, yeah.
Nice. We were talking about doing that because I have 2 identical rooms.
Yeah, I mean, I would throw some, not too many, because you don't want to have too many different variables. There's
Well, the
too
only
many as
thing
it
that
is.
would be different would be the lights.
Yeah, and that's probably
Yeah.
the one I would do. You know what I mean? I'm going to keep it
Yeah.
consistent on my environmental controls and whatnot. But I'm
Yep.
down to test lights, and I'm down to test nutrients. Those are probably really
Yeah.
medium / nutrient, the whole rhizosphere, if you will. But yeah, the lights are like the only equipment that I'd probably want to test against each other, and I'm all for that for sure.
Yeah.
We have 2 identical flower rooms really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we could that'd be like even separated from each other, so you don't have to worry about side lighting.
I
Yeah, it's-
definitely think you should get some GML lighting in there.
Yeah,
Well, I
we
would
probably
love
will.
eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, we transplanted a bunch. What, today?
40 of them today.
Today.
Or was
Nice.
it 41? 40 or
40,
41.
41,
triple
something
burger.
like that.
Did you guys scrub those pots? Did you buy new ones? Or
Well,
brand
it was
new.
a new batch. Yeah, I bought
Nice.
a pack
Nice.
from Grow Green.
So yeah, we bought a new batch. Is that funny to you?
No, my forearm's getting sore from scrubbing pots is what's funny to me now.
Oh, no, you're talking to Master. We used to love pot scrubbing because that meant we got to stand next to each other and bullshit for like
Bullshit.
3 to 4 hours.
Still haven't
Yeah.
opened them. I'm gonna find the right
Still
one.
get
But no, all my pots from the winter still got to get washed. I'm waiting for a good weekend. A little bit warmer than this. But
I bought
Yeah.
165-gallon smart pot from one of the local grow stores, because that is the biggest and the only pot they had. It was like a smart pot or fabric pot for outdoors they had.
yeah.
And I threw that lime skunk that I tossed outside like 3-4 weeks ago. I put it in there. I just got to backfill it in with all those extra extra leftover soil. I did buy that I wish I could remember the name of it. It's Pride Lands. It's like some sort of char, whatever bio additive, like you
Biochar.
recharge your soil. Yeah, something like that. You recharge your soil with it.
Okay.
So I'm going to add that to it, and probably just add some, like your standard top dress, like the powdered nutrients, the organic additives,
Yeah.
if you will. You can either work them into the soil or top dress them, but since I'm kind of like reusing the soil, I'll probably just work some. Actually, I think I might work some of the flower nutrients into the bottom of it, and then work some of the veg nutrients additives around like the kind of where the root ball is going. But yeah, we're just gonna do a 65-gallon pot on a pallet with lime skunk and see how tall we can get it, I think.
Yeah.
I like that. That sounds fun.
You should ask. I got a spare 100.
Oh wait, I'll do another
radical
one.
bag.
Let's do clementine.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be sick, dude.
Garlic punch doesn't get very tall outside. It does inside. And
Dude, you could do a Cobra milk out there.
dude, Cobra milk is just gonna bush out like crazy. That thing,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna
the
stay
size
short
of my
and wide.
garage. Like, yeah, in 100-gallon pot. It's so bushy.
It smells so good outside though.
Hey, shout out Organically Blend. I got a nice compliment from him not only yesterday but today in chat. He said I was skinnier in person, and I'm going to take that.
Good person.
Well,
It's
okay.
'cause he's like-
It's the
it's 'cause he's
blood
lost it.
loss.
Yeah, all that blood loss, man. He's in
Yeah.
there crippled, limping around and shit.
Fergoli's such like a team boy, dude. Like he's like before he left, he had like, oh, look at this, and he pulls up his pant leg and shows off his wound.
Well,
Okay,
to
I
be fair,
showed it to you a week ago. Might as well show it to you what it looks like now.
Yeah.
Keep you posted.
it was pretty
Progress
gnarly though.
report.
It was pretty gnarly looking, man. It was pretty serious looking.
So
I would
got
also
another
like
week
to say
so.
that Fergroli is much taller than he looks in person as well.
Yeah.
Because if you look at him, compared to me, I look a lot taller than he is right now. But if we were standing next to each other, that's the opposite. In
It's
fact,
the opposite. Yeah.
in fact,
I just moved further back and I look
There you go,
smaller.
there you go. That's
Four of our members
to
are
him
Jolly
ratio
Green
right there.
Giants right now.
Yeah,
That's all
actually,
I gotta
someone
say.
I
Jolly
forget
Green
who it
Giants.
was. Someone came in right after you guys left Spartan and Baked, and they're like, "Oh, like I heard Spartan's gonna be here. Is he here?" I'm like, "Oh man, they just left. Like, him and Baked were here." I'm like, and they're like, I thought I saw him like as I was pulling in. It kind of looked like him. I'm like, was it two really tall, super skinny guys? Like you're not gonna miss them, like especially with that beard.
You will not miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
tend
we
to
got a
stand
good
out.
parking spot too.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yep.
That's always awesome when you get a good
Just to
spot.
give Kat a reference, if Fergroli, Spartan, Baked, and myself, we're all getting a picture.
Oh,
We're all like getting a picture together.
bro.
You would see all of them, and you'd see my forehead.
Can we do Lord of the Rings group next year for Halloween?
Yes,
Oh,
let's do it.
And
I
you
already
got
got the hat.
Gimli, and we'll just be everyone else, and it'll
I'll
be
be
so
Gandalf.
accurate on the height.
Oh my god.
That's not very nice.
I'll
What do
be
you mean? That's
Gandalf.
accurate. Who doesn't want to be Gimli? He's got an axe.
He's got an axe.
You'll have to be
Axe.
you have to be Legolas Baked because you're more elf-like.
Yeah, hey, I like that.
Yeah,
You,
and
you
then
said it weird
Fergroli,
though. What'd you say?
you're more elf-like.
No, the name.
Legolas.
Legolas. Huh, I've never
Yeah.
heard it said like that.
Oh,
Legolas?
nah, that's Legolas, man.
Legolas? I'm
Legolas,
pretty
I've
sure they
never heard
say it
that
in
either.
the movie.
Well, that's not how I read the books, man. The
That's
movie's just
amazing.
there.
That is a good point. That is a good point. I read Harry Potter in like 6th grade, and trying to
Whoa.
pronounce Hermione.
Oh yeah,
Hermione.
I remember that. I was like,
Dude,
"Oh,
in
what
my
the
head,
fuck
I'm
is
like, I
this?"
give up. I'm just.
And there wasn't
Hermione,
Google
like,
Google
Hermie.
pronunciation.
No, Hermie.
Yeah.
Just please tell me you did not read that in 6th grade.
Oh yeah, I got it banned from my
do
school,
you
but that's a
mean?
different discussion.
Oh man.
The Hobbit?
That's when the first 4 came out.
What was it? The Hobbit?
Oh,
No,
okay.
no,
I wasn't
like the
then.
The Lord
Harry
of the
Potter
Rings
series.
trilogy.
I think it came
Oh,
out
Harry
like 5th
Potter.
grade for me.
We read The Hobbit in 4th grade. That was
We
4th
didn't
grade.
read the Lord of the Rings or Hobbit for school. They had them in the library.
I read Dante's Inferno
I heard they were
in
banned some
college. That
places.
was
That's a dope fucking that's crazy, man.
a lot of Aristotle and dude,
Books
it
are
was.
banned still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
I mean, that to me is like so weird that a Judy Blume book is banned still in the United States.
Which
But what's crazy is like they have never banned cannabis books.
I
Which
know.
I always used to think because I always used to go to Barnes and Noble and I'd read them, but I wouldn't buy them.
Elementary school like author, publicist that writes these books for these young adults, young kids, and
You know what
that
books won't get banned? Indie books don't get banned. Indie shit doesn't get banned.
Really?
It's funny. It's strange. It's like pop culture stuff ends up having controversy and stuff, but indie stuff exists through its
I
own.
wonder why.
Think about the Anarchist Cookbook or Uncle Fletcher's Handbook and all that stuff.
the Anarchist Cookbook.
Well,
All
not
that
in
stuff.
schools.
Oh no, not in schools, but I mean it's not like they're banned.
But on floppy disks,
Not like
yes.
they're banned literature, like government banned it.
I think there's still drama going on about private schools and funding and banning books and stuff.
Oh, you're talking about banning books from schools.
Yeah.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah. I'm talking about banning.
I actually don't think that's a
Public
private school issue. I think that's a public school issue because private
yeah,
schools can
it's a
kind of
public
do whatever the fuck they want and no one can tell them
Yeah.
otherwise. Public schools have to answer to the state, and that's like a bigger issue,
Well, there's some. I think what I'm thinking of is probably those like charter schools or whatever where they get
They
both.
get funding, yeah, but they're actually like a private company. Yeah, that's a weird thing. I've got a friend that worked in charter schools in Kalamazoo, and he's got a lot of rough stories about that. I guess it's technically Portage, but
I worked in a charter school in Ann Arbor, just in like their after school program, and it's a big variety of kids with lots of different needs. Parents like to put their kids in those schools because they think they'll get more attention or special because they're paying for part of it.
yeah, or a lot of them have like a lottery or whatever, so you feel like you're winning something, if you get into the school or whatever. But that might not necessarily be any better.
I've never seen in schools, at least not when I was in school, was like growing shit, like horticulture class, greenhouse class, something like that.
Actually,
we had a greenhouse, but it was empty. It was like never been used for years.
we
So-
didn't have a greenhouse, but we did a lot of that. We always had plants like in the windowsill type, and it was always like
High school
Yeah,
had
in the
one, too.
biology or something like that. Or
High
some
school had
science
one too,
class,
but
yeah,
it was a storage room, and they kept all the fucking dead animals and shit in there.
All the cats to be
Yeah, all like the old
operated
like,
on and
ether like animals,
lamb
so
lungs and
shit
They
like
didn't
that.
have like a they didn't have like a school garden or something like
all the
that.
stuff that kids used to be able to look at. That,
well,
like, you
but
couldn't-
at the other on the complete other side of the spectrum though, and also I would say just as useful, we also don't get taught basically anything about finances or taxes.
Yeah.
You know, and that's in today's world probably just as useful, not in like a survival mode, but like, you know, in actually like surviving in today's
anything
world.
about
I was
entrepreneurship.
taught accounting to do, and we did specifically taxes in high school. And then I also had
How old are you?
I also had an economy class that was
Damn.
that they taught us about. We showed us how to trade stocks and stuff like that. It was
Wow,
pretty cool.
really? That must have
That's
been a different
cool.
world then.
Yeah, I am 44 years old.
Yeah, getting
Yeah.
these paper certificates in the mail. There was no Robin Hood back then, kids. No Charles Schwab online accounts. Or
That would have
whatever.
been a blast, a fake stock market.
So what we do is we take the
It's
actual
currently
newspaper.
still fake, just so you know.
No,
Well,
they
yeah.
took the actual, what they did is they gave us $1,000 for our investment, and you started with it and
Yeah.
invested it in the current. You could buy whatever stocks we actually got the newspaper that showed you could follow the ticker
Tickers and shit,
see
dude.
what
I
they were.
remember doing that with Kmart in 2001.
And so he gave us X amount of time, and we tracked our progress and made the graphs even, and you know, you're graded on how well you did.
I have no idea how to invest properly.
Yeah.
None.
In
I
fifth
mean,
grade, in
owning a
Let me tell
home
you,
is
Red,
pretty good
it's all
start.
about crypto.
Don't even fuck with crypto. Don't even listen to that. Do not even listen to that, especially right now.
The only one that deals with crypto
Crypto's
is
the
baked.
future. Crypto's
Yeah,
the
it's totally
future.
just baked.
Yep.
I don't
alright.
even.
No one else is
But that's
involved
all
with
right.
Ethereum or
We
Bitcoin.
learned
or
we learned all the
anything else.
basic stuff, man. I swear it was seriously basically like the history stuff.
I'll have two islands.
The-
One will be for people who believed in the crypto, and the other will be for you guys.
That other
Fucking
island's gonna be
island.
pretty big, dude. I
That
hope you
is
got a lot of
sweet.
square miles.
So my stance on that is I don't believe in crypto, but I believe in Uvate.
I believe
just-
crypto's
just-
a thing. I don't believe crypto is stable enough for me to put my money there.
Would you
We can't-
invest in
can't-
CBDCs though?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know
That
what
is
a
the government
CBDC
form
is.
of currency, a government
No.
form of crypto. That's what they're
No.
trying to convert everything to.
For girly, I don't know how many times I have to say this. I think cash is king, so I will not invest in
agree
anything
100%.
that goes against cash is king. Anything that goes against my ethos of cash is king, I will not invest in. I refuse to.
Okay, but what about when they stop taking cold-hearted cash?
That's when I fucking raise my pirate flag and shit
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
real.
Opt out. I opt out. I'm done. We're gonna do our own thing from there on out. See ya.
Hi ho, off to the woods we go.
Or the ocean, I guess. We
Crypto.
really
Everybody thinks crypto is like this great freedom thing, but what crypto is a way that the government can track every single transaction. That's what crypto will be.
if they knew
If
who
they
the wallet
get
is
every
attached
single
to.
crypto, but
And you think the
that's a
government
broad
won't?
term.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
I don't
trying right
think
now
they
through
can.
centralized exchanges like
They will.
Robinhood and Coinbase, etc. But there's this thing called hard wallets where you can store your crypto off
For
the
now.
Like
internet.
cash.
Well,
For
no,
now.
not for now. That's how the whole thing.
I
was
mean,
designed.
the same fear you're talking about. You'd be afraid that if you put your shit in the safe in the back of your room, that the government's gonna bust down your door. Like, we want that. We're taking your safe. That's the same thing if they went into a hard wallet ever.
No,
Yeah,
because I can attempt them to stop. coming
Yes,
to
you
my
can
house.
because it's on a
You
USB
can't.
drive. Yes, you can. That's what a hard wallet or cold wallet is. The centralized exchange is basically like the NASDAQ, NYSE, like any sort of centralized platform where some market maker is controlling everything that goes through that system. If you have a certain amount of crypto on a cold wallet that is just offline and a USB drive or a hard drive somewhere, no one can access that. No one can take
Yeah.
it from you unless they physically do that, which, at that point, you got.
But
Other
that's why they
problems.
make USB drives disguised as all kinds of shit nowadays, so that
Right.
you can.
Yeah.
Like you could have all your crypto on this right here. If you
Yeah,
want.
that could be
that's-
worth $500 billion if
Yeah.
It's being a
Yeah,
jar.
that makes me feel super safe about that.
well, I don't think I'd put it all in one little USB stick, but that's kind of like putting all your money in one bank account, and
Yeah.
suddenly it's
Right.
only FDIC insured up to $250,000, or it was. I think that's changing now. thanks to
that's
this
somewhere
current
then-
banking collapse.
So that like can't be like a hacker or something.
No one can take that from you because it's
If I
physically
plugged
stored.
it in technically, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, I know right now this dude plugged that one in. Let me go to his IP."
Yeah,
and-
you know
and do
where
all
it's
this shit."
located. You know the
It'd
keys.
be pretty complicated. It wouldn't be your
Yeah.
average person either doing
And-
that.
Yeah.
But
What
yeah,
about- what about track and trace?
Well, everything's tracked and traced. So
yeah,
literally
everything that's plugged in.
you can
Cash
pull up.
isn't.
We're talking crypto, but
It's got a serial number on
technically
it.
there are serial numbers on it, but they don't do that much tracking with
No,
it.
they
as far as
Yeah,
I'm
don't.
they
aware.
gave up on that.
that.
It's just too much of it.
Well, cash
and they
could be
started printing it.
cash. Like we have the technology now. They could be putting what are they? RFDI.
RFID.
Oh yeah,
RFID.
into cash. That would be shitty.
Yeah.
That'd be seriously
That'd be a shitty move.
Well, the thing with RFID is it's the range on that isn't very far. So I mean, unless you're like walking into say a gas station or somewhere with like a, let's call it a I don't know, any
Anywhere in
Bluetooth enabled
society.
device, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much most of society. But if you're trying, I don't really want to give it too many ideas. Never mind. I'm going to stop that thought. And
I should have stopped with the RFID. I'm sorry.
I feel like I'm giving plans now. This is anarchist.
I do want to warn.
2.0.
Usually only accepting
They
cash in
they
85 or
killed the
earlier.
Cash App guy, and then they started Fed Now, where they want you to use Fed Now, which is like
That's
Cash
what I'm
App.
talking about. Central
That way,
digital
that
banking.
you're,
currency.
you're
Exactly,
putting
yeah,
your
so hell no.
cash into digital form that they're controlling.
Yeah.
Well, I
No,
mean, it's just
CBDCs.
simple. It's just simple. You don't use that ever.
Right.
Even
But-
when they're like, "Hey, we're giving away stimuli," that are and you have to take
mail
them
me
in
that
your
check.
Fed
fool.
Now. I'm gonna be like,
Just cash
"Oh
it
no,
out.
I guess I won't be getting that money then because I'm not using
or
Fed Now."
you're gonna have to wait 4 to 6 weeks or whatever because they're gonna
I'll
mail
wait
it.
for
well,
the
then
6.
I'll wait. Yeah,
I want my
Exactly,
paper
dude.
check.
Yeah, I don't pay the fee for instant transfer on like Venmo
No,
or
never,
PayPal or
never.
whatever. Never, not once have I done that. I am
Only if I
too
need the
cheap
money
and too
now.
patient.
You
I
need-
don't need it now. I'm not. What's his name? JG Wentworth.
JP Wentworth. It's my money and I need it now. No one else gonna give me another one. Open a window, lean out of it.
No.
Okay. Well,
Hey,
Sitting at your
877
kid's
cash
soccer
now,
game.
No, I can't even remember that. Gosh, I remembered it when you said it, but damn.
yeah, that's a
Oh,
good, perfect
JG
impression.
Wentworth.
I want to shout out some of the people. I want to shout out some of the people before we get too far away from the that event we went to. There was a pretty sweet little sesh spot right where Broly was set up, right outside kind of the bathrooms, where there's a little outdoor setup with the table and ashtrays, and we had a bunch of people roll through. I know I'm gonna forget people, but we saw like it was Blue Kiss. I think Red Eye Wrestler was out there. Modern Genetics was out there. Big Jar Grows. Chuck D's Nugs out there.
Who won the GML light last
Who won
week?
the
right?
GML? Yeah.
He was there.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Who won that
Yes.
light?
Chuck
I
D's
missed
Nugs.
Chuck
It's
D's
Big
Nugs.
Jar Grows friend.
Oh, that's
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
And then
Yeah, he
Smiley's
got a
Gardens I
next
saw
bar.
out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. That shout out Modern Genetics and Smileys. They were there.
Nice. Cheers, everybody. That's awesome. I'm glad everybody made it out this weekend. We wish we could have been there.
You had big
Muskegon
stuff.
was really nice too. Everybody was saying it was gonna be rainy.
Oh, I
and
love Muskegon.
It
Oh,
wasn't. It wasn't really.
Yeah. I heard that too, Bakes. I know what you're saying, and I didn't,
There's some cool lake houses. I'll tell you that.
Mm.
Saw that.
Did you guys go to the? you guys were out there on that side of town. Left midday ish. What did you like? Drive down the coast or do anything? Drive down 31 or
Oh no,
go to the state park or anything?
no.
No.
We're more of a let's get the fuck home type of people.
You guys aren't talking or taking long walks on the beach.
Fuck
together?
no. Are you? What
No.
is this? Some sort of weird show?
We went
The
to.
90s?
Okay, we better not carve
We
it.
didn't even stop to eat until we got back to Jackson because I was
Yeah.
like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna go to Steak and Shake that I know is good."
Get out of this rural area. Hell
Yeah.
no.
Dude, I was born in the
We don't
rural
know where
area.
we're
Rural
at.
area is my home, man. I love that.
I
It's
do
unknown
love
area.
comfy. I feel you. I love
Dude,
comfy.
speaking of
Oh,
rural
I'm not
areas,
gonna lie. We pulled up, and what was that event we went to with Maize and Grows a long time ago?
Oh, that was in Detroit. Yeah, what was it called?
Yeah,
I forget what it was
and we
called.
pulled up to this Gyms and Genetics, and we were like, "Holy fuck!" There's another one like this event where it was in just like an abandoned,
random warehouse.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck!" There's these abandoned houses and shit. but it turned out really nice where it actually was. You just had to drive through those neighborhoods to get
It
there.
was funny
Yeah.
walking outside of it, like coming from the inside of the event and walking outside, and you're like, oh yeah, like I don't feel like I'm in this like right here right now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's a totally different vibe inside.
Well, they had a bar for soda and water and shit. And
Yeah, it was
the music wasn't
blasting.
blasting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that
nice.
was excellent.
That was nice. Yep.
Yeah, it was like a real deal establishment, you know. So good for them, but not
Yep.
like a for sale. It was a private club type establishment.
Yeah.
And I believe they do quite a few cannabis events there, not just Michigan Gems of Genetics. I've heard I heard there was an event last weekend there or something.
I think
Oh,
Kareem
nice.
is there as well. Not sure, but
Okay.
Okay.
next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't selling alcohol at the event, but they, you know,
Oh,
it was just like it's just it's a private club, so
Yeah, it's like I don't know, somewhere you'd host like a wedding or something, like a little
like
ballroom
at a
type
bar,
hall.
you know.
Yeah.
That's where the Sons of Anarchy hang out.
Oh,
You know, no big deal.
Yeah.
I got to try some new flower this weekend. Something I don't think any of us have had anything of. I saw my sister this weekend, and she's been growing out some of the Brothers Grimm seeds.
Okay.
They're testers, and she had the Romulan and Gluey, and then the Grimm truffles. And I have to say, I am very, very impressed. The Grimm truffles on smell really drew me in right away.
What type of profile? What's it smell like?
I would say along the line. I would say
Give it to us, Nut Tree.
Take a deep breath. Fruity, maybe Cindy 99 leaning.
okay. So and that's
Okay.
where I'm gonna say. So the cross is white truffles in Cindy 99. So
Okay.
we've grown out Cindy 99 before, so we know that smell, but I don't get that off of that. I get more of a glue smell
Okay.
off of it. So it's kind of a little funky for me because right now I'm like, boy, this is like glue. What is this? But he gets something totally different. But then on the other profile, the Romulan and Gluey is very sweet, floral, and almost perfumey, like cologne-y. I don't know.
I didn't really care for the smell of this one, but the smoke was good.
Neither one of us cared for the smell of it, but the smoke and the flower and the high is great. Not too sticky. It's a good bud, but not. It was more powerful than it led up to, is how I wanted to put it. Now, the GT, the Grimm truffles, that got me all the way. Smell, stickiness, high. I immediately texted her and I was like, whoa, this one's good. Really good. So, and she grew it with Nectar of the Gods and I think a Spider Farmer Light. So
Okay.
shout out Lake Unsalted, if I got her right, Instagram thing. It's my sister Lori. So she did a great job.
Oh yeah.
I see two comments in chat. Red Pill, Genius or Apollo 13. Oh, it moved. Genius or Apollo 13 crosses. He likes from Brothers Grimm. I had a. It wasn't Brothers Grimm. It was who worked with their Apollo 13.
CGA did.
Kosa seeds. I think it was a Kosa.
I saw that he had the Apollo and I wasn't too sure on who had worked all that. So I'm right there right now. I was trying to figure it all out.
That's what's in the vortex. It's Apollo 13 Space Con.
Okay.
Yeah, and I ran that Apollo 13 for many years. I fucking lived
I
so.
mean, they got 9 tester seeds for $25.
Nice.
That's nice.
And then
yeah.
even hold on, even the regular seeds are 1 pack of 3 seeds for $33. So I don't know. It's very reasonable, well worth a try. I feel like.
What is the perfect amount of seeds to you guys?
To try.
If you're buying a pack to pheno hunt and
Depends how you grow.
If you want-
my new size is 60.
Oh well, listen, big dog. We're talking to home.
I know you're talking regs or fems.
You know, I don't
can't
care
vote
if you're
for
just
Red
buying a
Panthers.
pack of seeds because you know you like that strain and you want to find that one pheno that's going to come out of it. Are you buying a 3-pack, a 5-pack, a 10-pack, a multiple 10-packs? And are you know, ultimately, I guess you're probably
Basically
popping them
getting
all at once
multiple,
if you
you
want to
know.
find it. But
I just kind of feel like the way that the seed pricing is for his, it's very reasonable to pheno hunt something, to try to find something. And if you don't find something that time, heck, I'd throw in another $33 for another 3 seeds to try to find something. I don't know. That's kind of
assuming they're available, that's the trick, though, right?
Yeah.
Just generally speaking, I want 10 regular seeds or 5 femmes.
I'm
I think
closer
he-
to
he
Dade
actually-
neutral.
That's my
as he is
minimum.
there.
I mean, of course, higher is better, but that's my minimum.
I like
I think
to get 12.
a lot of
like
good
15,
crosses.
7. 15
He's got a
regs or
Durban
7
tie
femmes.
cross with Cindy 99. I don't know. He's got a Durban Knights, and it's a Durban tie crossed with Jack Herrera and Cindy 99. Shoo, I mean, we got a lot of heavy hitters right there.
You know what, Baked? I have the tendency to pop like 60 seeds or so thereabouts, you know, at the same time when I do a pheno hunt as well. But the problem is I'm really just trying to keep 1 or 2 out of them. And I always pop 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, strains. So while I love a 10-pack of seeds, and I think if I'm going to buy a genetic that I know I really want and want to get something out of, it's probably going to be a 10-pack. I'm the type that doesn't pop them all at once. So I might take 2 years
Yeah.
to pheno hunt something, you know, or maybe more, and it might just
I've
go in the
done that.
archive and we'll bring it out down the road. But I'm always keeping seeds, you know what I mean, and not popping everything. And I have heard a lot of people give flack about that, but I don't know, that's just how I operate. I'm limited, you know what I mean? Like
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I
I
do
was thinking
that
about that
same
too.
thing.
Like, ooh, did I leave the keeper behind? But it's like, who cares? Like, I didn't. Like, that's neither
it's
here.
yeah,
nor
what I grew is either good enough or not to stay. And if it's good
Exactly.
enough, I
Yeah.
probably don't need to pop that other seed. If
Exactly.
it's not good enough, I may pop it next. I may pop it never. It might be a couple years down the road, but I kind of got an idea of what that pack was going to give me at least.
That's
you
what
know?
I like to get out of popping just a couple seeds. Is it gives me an idea, and then if I want to go back into it because I really liked it, I'll go back into it and search a bigger
Well, and
population.
then, like, let's say you have 6 or 8 spots, or Michigan, you have 12, and you're just monocropping or mono rooming or plant counting, whatever.
We got you.
Yeah.
I
Then
can never do a whole pack of seeds just because of the setting that I'm in, and I'm also afraid that if I do all of them, then I find something that maybe I didn't grab it, and then I'm going to miss out on something. So I better leave 1 seed just in case.
yeah, I just wouldn't leave 1. But I was getting at, like, you could do, like, if you had 10 plants or 12 plants, you could do two each seed if you have femmes. That's 6 strains. So you're checking out 6 strains in 1 run.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
getting
you're
to
like,
see.
oh, this one, they're both dank. I gotta pop the
Mhm.
rest of those. These, both of them sucked. Whatever, you get an idea. So at
Doesn't
least,
cannabis have like a 3-to-1 male to female like ratio for genetic? I feel like cannabis has a higher male to female ratio, so that it does not so it produces more seed, but so it has a greater genetic.
Okay, can I compare and contrast something? Can I give you a real life example here? Female deer, at least white-tailed deer, the older a female white-tailed deer is, the more likely she is to give pregnant to more female deer. That is part of the reason we have in Michigan a regulation that allows us to, in some parts and sometimes, shoot an unlimited amount of female deer because it's an overpopulation issue. I don't know if this is at all related to cannabis, but one of that situation makes me think, I don't know, is it like a longevity thing? Is it the age of the plant that maybe it produces a certain, chromosome or whatever in terms of its eggs, pollen, seeds, what what I'm saying? Is there something in like the environment that would affect that, or is it a genetic thing? Is it a plant species thing or a animal species thing?
You could honestly say that about humans, though, because if you talk in the medical world, a lot of people will say that men, and I'm not cutting on anybody's age right now, I'm not saying anything, but They say that men over the age of 35 and up tend to produce more females than males. Now, I don't know if that's true, but
So the
for a very long time-
conventional wisdom, even when I was growing up, is that the male essentially decides the sex of the baby because the male is the one providing the X or the Y chromosome. That being said, from what I've read in the last 3 to 5 years, from our understanding now, or from their understanding now, because I don't understand this.
think there's a big difference.
The
Hold on, hold on.
female, hold on, no, let me finish. The females essentially decides which sperm to let get to the egg. So ultimately is the female choice, although it is the male that.
But the big difference,
Makes that
big
decision.
difference between plant kingdom and mammalia kingdom is that the females are only accepting one sperm donor, right? The plant kingdom could be accepting thousands of pollen donors.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So plants are searching for a larger
Variety
genetic
or
genetic
amount.
variety, right. Whereas mammalias are searching more for a narrowed
True.
adaptation trait.
Hmm.
You know, and same
I
with
think it's
plants.
still
Like
50-50
they're
though.
adapting. Plants are adapting faster because of that, and like mammals might actually be behind on the
Well, think about their life cycle, dude. They get 40 generations in the time we get one, you know?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. So they're ahead in the evolutionary chain than we are as mammalia, even though we're
Mhm.
doing what we are with we appear smarter or whatever. They have more of an ability to adapt and thrive and sustain than we may under certain conditions. Think if we were hit with radiation or some shit like that,
Okay.
whereas they having that many pollen donors or males, will be able to resist threats a lot easier. And I think
But if you think about it, it's kind of like chickens. They're like really evolved to do a very specific, minuscule amount of things, but they're really good at those things they've been evolved to do. Humans, on the other hand, we've been evolved to like adapt and comprehend and change and create and innovate and all those things. Where I don't think the animal or the plant kingdom especially has any of those traits to it. So they might be really good at the specific things they're capable of doing, but that's kind of as far as it goes.
That's a difference.
This website says
right. We have a little. I have a belief that plants have a sentience, but we have this in our reality. What we see in their reality, it might be different. We may be the standstill version, and they may be, the objects in motion.
That'd be crazy.
So we really don't. It's all the perspective of the viewer, right? So, but I wholeheartedly think that they will adapt and be able to change and reshape the earth without us around. You know what I mean? Just the same.
And the only reason they do it is because of the quantity, I think, because in reality we live so much longer that we are able to adapt over time much better than they are. They have to do it very quickly. The difference is they do it generation to generation to generation to generation, and we're doing it throughout our lifetimes.
Right.
And so they're potentially passing on these genetic traits that have
They're passing
adapted
on every year.
Yeah, and we're trying to adapt as we go and then train our children as we go over the course of those 20, 40, 60 years or whatever. Hey, so I hate to swap subjects real quick here, but we are right up against hash time, and I wanted to share a little something here. I posted on Instagram the other day a Primal Punch banana pheno batter that came from a vac sealed bag that I put in my freezer and extracted and packaged on July 29th of 2020. And here I have what's left in this bag. I did a lime skunk, a primal punch, and a clementine because those were my three favorite at the time. And here in front of you now, I'm going to open up for the first time in almost 3 years this clementine. You guys see the old packaging with those sweet trophies on there.
Hey, I still have some of those. I
save that ink.
Just so you know.
Dude, I'm telling you guys, look at this. It is
those old school ones. I love
just like the day I put it in there. That
That's
is almost 3 years old. 7/29/2020. Vac sealed and deep frozen. That's all you got to do. You'll save your flour. You'll save your extracts. It'll be almost as good. It might lose a little couple percentage points or something in there, but I feel like it's
I mean,
99.9%
it's not
good.
it's not completely dried crystals.
No, look at that,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
It's sauce.
Yeah,
Dude. It's still
that's
sauce.
nice.
I dab that.
And it's in those containers that don't have the seal.
Yeah, there you go. She's got the old one too. Yeah. This is definitely
Yeah,
not. Well, the thing is, I put it in a vac seal bag and put
course
it in
I
the
do.
freezer.
Seal bag worked it up. Yeah, that's great. Wow, man,
I have a whole box
Preserve the terps,
of
guys.
of dab containers that I've kept that are my favorites that I can't part with. And you know,
Nice.
when I'm bad, like when I buy a book, I like look at the cover. I barely read what it's about. I like look at the cover. If it's all shiny, I love it. And that's kind of how I am with dabs. The flashier slaps, the side things, you like draw my attention on this like kid in a candy store. And
I'm
this
not
was
gonna make
one
you
of
guess.
them. This stood out to me, you know, at the time. So patch time. Cheers, everybody.
I don't know how to play ukulele, but that's what this is. Ukulele.
You have to keep playing it while people heat their dabs up.
You guys
Okay.
do your dabs. We went in early on
me
ours.
playing.
All right.
We did a dab of strawberry bubs from Yeti, and we finally got our Dr. Dabber working again. We got a new atomizer, so we're back in business again.
They had a 420 sale going on.
Oh yeah, got us a blender too, but I got us a blender, but I don't have the right attachment to fit my rig, so I can't use the damn thing. I've had it a whole week and I can't use it, and it's just sitting here and it's like, oh nice.
Frustrating.
And I'm like, I just want to use you.
After I bought all that high five stuff behind me and showed you guys like that was a few weeks ago, I think. The email for the Terp Slurper or whatever. I got another email like 2 days after that. It was like, we're extending our 420 sale. And I was like, do they watch the show? Use code for girly.
That's awesome.
It was just a coincidence though.
I popped Cowboy Yetis last week. I think you guys heard me say, and we had a successful 6 come up because I could not just obviously plant all of them. I had to keep some back, and he was so gracious. ABC Co. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Gave me tremendous amount of seeds in my specially glass blown container that I have. And I wish I got it right here. Hold on, let me show you guys. It's so awesome.
He was another vendor up
I
there.
thought I had like 10 seeds in this thing, and there's like way more than 10 seeds because I gifted Yeti a few to pop, and so Yeti went ahead and popped some. Love ABC Co. He has these unique glass blown little pendants, and it comes in this box that's so awesome with a necklace, and we got 3 of these, and this one has my seeds in it. So popped the Cowboy Yetis last week. We have a successful 6. Yeti had all of his come up. They were all successful. So he's going to do his in cocoa. Not that we're like trying to do anything like particular here, but we did pop at the same time, but he's doing his in cocoa and I'm doing mine in soil. And we're just kind of going to see what happens.
That's cool.
Yeah, super excited. We got home after this weekend and I was talking to Nutri here and I was like, I think we need to put the seedlings on a smaller scale, light level, because they reached all the way to the top of the Solo Cups domes that I put on them while we left because we were gone all the weekend. So I had to like make up for us not being there to water. So I needed to give good hydration. So I did a little dome area for them and they reached all the way to the tops of the Solo Cups and just since we left. So
you think they need more light is what you're saying?
Very nice to see that. What'd you say, Spartan?
So you're saying you think they need more light?
Closer.
Yeah, I just think they need to be closer. They're reaching towards it. So,
it's really low light too.
Yeah, it's very low light, very low light. It's the lowest T light we have, and barely enough to keep what we've got going clone wise because we're short on lights right now. So, I just feel like I needed to have it closer to the light so it didn't reach so high.
I agree with you. I think that's a good move.
Yeah. So, but super cool to see how much, literally we popped that, we cracked, no, I put them in water.
weekend ago.
18 hours, we had cracked seeds, and then within 24, we had tails. 18 hours, I had a good half-inch tail, and then we planted within 48 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, and they were on the, and nothing against this, but it was a smaller seed. So I was unsure if like that. I don't know. I'm honestly new to popping seeds still. I don't know size wise of seeds, what's good, what's bad. But it was a smaller seed.
I think it's got a lot to do with LED lighting. There's something in LED lighting because all the stuff that I've made under LEDs are tiny seeds too.
Okay.
I've gotten from our outdoor, out of a dozen different varieties, a dozen different sizes of seeds. I specifically I've noticed the Granddaddy Purple would throw really, really tiny seeds. Not like really tiny seeds. Not okay. The Thai seeds from Captain 420, really, really little fucking tiny seeds. The Granddaddy Purple are a little bit bigger than that. But then the Grape Ape, which you would think is like a relative of Granddaddy Purple, maybe the Urkel or something. I don't know, but these seeds are fucking huge. And then the lemon dozy seeds are big. Strawberries and cream seeds, those are a little bit. And every plant seems to have a different, not only size seed, but like a texture, color pattern, like the striping. And obviously seed to seed is almost like a thumbprint with different striping, but the striping patterns almost tend to be different seed to seed. And something that, because it all kind of starts from the potential of the seed. That seed contains genetic potential, which is just waiting to happen. And it might pop and it might grow and it might do its thing, but it may never, as a pre-embryonic seed, I don't know if those are real words to use together, but as that seed is developing, if it's only halfway developed, it can still pop and do all of its things, but it can also still mature. And I just believe that taking seeds to their full maturity so that they can have the utmost genetic potential from the mother, that they were nourished from the mother until, the mother was ready to senesce on her own. At that point, those seeds are ready to go. And then those are the most healthy of healthy seeds. Becca had put this brownie beneath us, and I had no idea it was there. And we're getting through this, and it's right below here. And somehow I thought that we must have had some sort of a cat come through the house that we didn't know and leave us a little friendly thing while I'm sitting here talking.
Yes.
I thought it was a Root Riot cube for a second.
Cats and bunnies.
So we've gotten some seeds off of our lime alien breath that I missed, and I totally missed it. Or I don't even know if I missed it. It's so embedded into the top seed of the bud that it's just now kind of coming out that I don't see it on the lowers. So I don't know but the seeds on it are humongous, just huge and hard and just nuggets of seeds. So
just the way Baked likes them. Hey, I got a question for you guys, and you don't have to answer the first one. Sorry, Baked. Just making sure you're paying attention. So
I was thinking about how maybe Hermes do that.
All right, I'm going to go down this road further. Rosemary's Oasis. Do you guys believe that genetics start at conception? And also that one you don't have to answer. The next one is do cannabis plants breastfeed their seeds? Is that a thing? Can you keep a seed longer and nourish it longer just by keeping the mother alive and maybe give it some extra potential? Because you talked about the
I don't know
potential
if
of
I
a
believe
seed.
that. I don't know if I believe
What?
that.
All right, I'm just throwing out some bro science questions here, guys.
I'm not going that far. I don't want to go that far. But
So
definitely,
what do you even mean? Are you putting the seeds next to the mother and veg?
No, not next to it. If you left the seed in the mother for longer and nourish that mother, is there some way to increase the genetic potential of a seed?
How are you going to do that?
I don't know.
Without the mother dying.
We could experiment.
I mean, if you think about it, the seed is alive, right?
And the mom's dying.
And so it is becoming alive from the mother. So I guess it is kind of like feeding the seed.
I put it this way: if you have a 12-week, or let's even go crazy, you got a 17-week flowering plant, right? And then you got a 6-week flowering plant, and you pollinate them both at the same time. Are those seeds ready at the same time?
No, I don't think they are. And that's why
I think it'd be similar.
That's why I think you should let the plant go to its maturity.
And they almost eject the seeds themselves. Not literally, but like they kind of do. You know what I mean?
Totally do, man. I was cutting our plants this year. We had all seeded up. You know, we did a whole
Seeds
thing.
ripen just like the flower does. You know, they change color. They go from like a green to a white, or a white to a green, or green to a white to a brown to a, you know, maybe some
Brown with
even
a black stripe.
You know, then they start getting their stripes, and some don't get stripes, but you know, from my experience, like most of them do get stripes, and it'll just depend, you know, on age when that happens. You know, the older ones get them, and a lot of times, like when they're not getting it, it's either because it's the variety or it's an age thing.
What happens with vegetables? You know, they're trying to like spread their seed, right, and grow the next year. Like they want to keep going, and so cannabis does that too. It's like the bract around it or whatever's around it dries, and then it'll snap, and it just like
it pops out. It pops out.
We've talked about volunteer plants too. You know, I know Spartan, you guys, like Rosemary's Oasis, I have all in the last year experienced those volunteer plants. I didn't keep them around. I think maybe Spartan did, or someone did.
We totally did.
I kept mine.
Yeah. And so like, that's, I don't know, like that's a result of those seeds from last year. And I think that's kind of a cool thing to just have them like almost naturally growing. But I don't know, just you guys had my brain going, and I was wondering if there's a way to like nurture a seed into its most full potential, because I've definitely, you know, harvested flower and it got, you know, seeded somehow. Maybe it was a Hermie or something like that. And, you know, you get maybe like those little white seeds out of it, or, you know,
I think your mind is on the right track though. You want to not harvest that mother plant early and to take it past its prime. If you're harvesting for seeds, I believe you take it past harvest time, like what your normal harvest time is. If you're harvesting for seeds, at least that's what I do with mine. I take them till like the plant's about to ready to fucking die. It's turning brown, and that's
seeds on this.
I do that with lettuce. I do that with broccoli.
This is Creature Panic. It's riddled with seeds. If I break this open, we'll get 4 seeds right now, and I took it to the end of harvest like I would flour.
So
and the seeds all look always great,
like popping out of the top of the bud, and I have not seen anything, and it's not on all the buds. It's not on the lowers. It's just a few, and it's, you know, it was in the middle. So the way we had the garden set up, it was the middle plant.
There you go.
On the far side, and
nice focus.
I just took that out of the nugget. There's probably 3 more. But that was like to the end of harvest. Like, so like probably for me, 67, 70 days, something like that. I always try to take it around there.
Yeah, that's a well-developed seed right there.
You haven't got any green ones, or you haven't got any immature seeds?
Never, not once out of this. But like this shit, I had to smoke it all because I wasn't gonna, you know, sell any of it.
That means it probably got pollinated early on. You know,
yeah, that's also probably matters. Like if it gets pollinated right as soon as the male's up, but if it's a herm plant, then it's like happening late. That's those
happening whenever,
So we had that one plant that we found the nanners on that hadn't busted open yet, and we brought it out, but that was at week 5, right? Yep. Obviously, you don't know. You can't see everything that doesn't open. You know, I don't have eyes at the back of that damn plant, so I can't see everything that happened. I can only see what I see, and I thought I caught everything when we brought it out, but at this point, it was closer to this lime alien than anything.
Well, that lime alien too was just $1 a seed, Hawaiian seed guy from.
Yeah, it was just like a freebie kind of pack, and who knows what the genetics are on it.
Might not even be very tested very good because I can't even find the guy anymore on Instagram.
So it just might be one of those things, but it honestly, it smells phenomenal, and it's got great heads on it. I mean, it's frosty as fuck. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
Chuck it out. Chuck it
Oh,
out.
it's not coming. It's already out, so it's not. We're just finishing it to finish it. We got 1 week left, guys. So we were week 8 on Friday. We are going in. We're chopping this week. So
Nice.
well, some are getting chopped this week, and some are going to 10. So we'll see what
Ooh.
happens after that.
Nice.
They're flushing.
What's
Yeah.
going to 10?
I'm gonna take the chems.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm taking the chems to 10. I'm taking the sugar cone to 10, and I'm taking 1 meathead to cone just to see what happens with it. The other ones are going to get, everybody else is getting cut on Friday.
Nice.
There's another question baked I had was how long did you take that one? You said you took it till normal harvest. Well, your normal harvest, you tend to grow them for pretty long.
That's what I said, like probably like 69, 70.
Okay.
I
so
like to
7
shoot for
days.
69, but like I'll start looking at trikes at 65.
Okay.
Usually, unless it's some crazy strain where I'm like, damn, this is developed early, but that doesn't happen that much. I think a lot of people take things early. I know rosin guys like to get the white, nice white heads, but I usually find 60, 69 works pretty good in a lot of ways.
You figure out 69 works pretty good, huh?
Yep. But yeah, so yeah. I think when the pollen hits, there's so many factors. Genetics, like when I was listening to a podcast, I believe they were talking about this once. The guy was saying really it's just genetics, whether you get small ones, tiger stripe, big ones, whatever. Now a green one that could be premature, but
the white ones are really bad.
Yeah, but as far as size, it's really just dependent on genetics.
Have you guys ever noticed
like
that your pre-flowers, we'll call them, or like the initial calyx that starts the nug, the node that comes off, like that initial calyx right there. Sometimes that for me will get pollinated, and that will have a mature seed in it, and then the rest of the nug is fine. There's no seeds in it. It's like it got pollinated early on or something. And again, I'm growing perpetual, so that it probably is the case, and that is also part of why I'm phasing out Mr. Clean, because I was having issues with Hermes on that.
Mrs. Clean.
Yeah.
I guess seed, it'll be in the bottom either portion.
Ms. Clean.
Whatever.
You should be done.
Hey, you guys don't.
We got BPC.
See that I'm always that's a jinx, man. I hate growing strains that have male like names as female plants. I don't like that.
he wants to grow Rochelle.
You are the guy that will never play a male character in a video game, aren't you?
Never play a male character? Yeah, I'll play a male character.
You're always like, oh, I'm playing an elf. It's got to be a female elf, though.
No, I don't play any female. Never. That irritates me too. No, I like to play the male.
Yeah, he probably got catfished in World of Warcraft once. It was like some hot. Oh, you're a dude. I'm so pissed.
You're actually a male paladin. What the hell?
What the fuck?
No, in World of Warcraft, I was serious and I was there to fucking kick ass. I wasn't there.
Exactly. So if you got catfished, this is ridiculous. I came here for a level.
What expansion pack?
I had them all.
Game
I had them all. I was raiding.
It's
and
still going.
Yeah, but like top.
I don't play anymore.
Like top tier for me was Frozen Throne era. If you remember that expansion.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah.
That was probably the best. Where they had battlegrounds. They had the other one. They had the throne. Where if you won it, you could raid.
I played BC. Uldar and Lich King, or
I'd have to see the pictures of the expansions to know which ones I played.
I know, right? I that's why I'm getting back.
There was one called Cataclysm or something where like
the that was in there too.
Half, and I remember
I think that was the last one I played actually, but I remember being
for me too.
We
started adding in the little fucking companion characters that was like Pokemon and stuff. I was like, I'm out. I'm done.
Things got a little less serious. I seriously like for like almost like 9 months of my life rated like 40 hours a week. We were like top 32 in the United States.
Had daily quests. It started feeling like a job,
Yeah.
That's too much, dude. Too much.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got the lime skunk.
Yeah, but dude, who was it? Chuck D's Nuts got some of that, and I didn't see it out. So like, you didn't have much of it there.
You gotta ask for it. Sometimes you just gotta ask.
I just wanted to smell it. And we ended up dabbing out of that Puffco, so that was
Yeah, we
sweet.
did it at that Puffco. That was nice.
I was gonna say I had actually it's right here the scrap jar. You know what I mean? Like those are usually the ones I bring to the events with me, and we get to dab out of that. Unfortunately, I left like
We finished that
half
Coke
in there.
milk a while ago. Been hanging on to this one.
I ate the
There's
Cobra
more.
Milk, those Cobra Milk Rice Krispie bars. Those were I like the
Yeah,
70
we ate those on
milligrams.
the way home.
I like the
Yeah,
70
that worked
milligrams.
well.
That was a better dose. Yeah,
Well, I left
Nice,
mine in
okay.
my pocket a little long, but
I ate two. I ate
Yeah,
two.
you're licking the bag like cheese
yeah, I
paper.
still
like...
ate it. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's still
flavor
good.
was
That flavor's
great. Like
good.
I think that combo with the Fruity Pebbles, the Cobra Milk with the Fruity Pebbles.
I mean, that's why I wanted that
Yeah.
strain. You know what I mean? That's why he gave it
Yep.
to me. You know,
Yeah.
shout out Spartan, man. Like I was looking for that Fruity Pebble flavor, something like Trick Cereal, something along those lines. Like it's one of my favorite flavor profiles. And you know, we all know this cannabis plant will throw out literally any flavor you can possibly think of. You just got to go hunting for it.
Yep.
And sometimes your friends will find it for you. And that's kind of what happened here. And so, I mean, pretty much, I don't know, 75% of my booth was like Cobra Milk stuff. I had the Cobra Milk live resin carts. I had the Cobra Milk flour. I had Cobra Milk WPFF fresh frozen, you know, batter. Yeah, I still got a couple of them cards left. We had the Cobra Milk cereal bars, Cobra Milk cookies. Like it was just Cobra Milk, Cobra Milk, Cobra Milk. And I'll take this time right now to let everybody know who's watching this. And, you know, if you're watching it after the fact, it's probably too late, but I will be in Chicago tomorrow. So let me know, you know, we'll be
there. You go.
Shout out the Chicago peeps.
Anywhere in between, too, you
right.
know, Flint to
Yeah, I
Chicago.
was gonna say.
It's a drive.
Yeah, it is. What is that? 4 hours?
Kalamazoo. It's close. It's about
Could
5.
be a boat ride.
5 hours.
A boat ride. Yeah. I actually, you know what? I found out there's a fucking a toll, like a toll ship. What is the word? A car train? Yeah, ferry.
A ferry?
A ferry, but like a car transfer. Dude, I don't take ferries.
Yeah,
very
those are
often,
ferries.
clearly. Yeah, and it goes across like Michigan to like
Yeah.
almost
Hey,
like
just drive your shit
It's
on there.
Wisconsin.
You
Yeah.
can either hang out in your car. Some of them are real nice, and they got like arcades and food.
But it's pretty slow, dude. But it's still
Yeah,
faster
yeah.
than driving around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
that's
well,
the thing.
if you
I was
if
looking
you
at
have, you
Google
know,
Maps, and it was like,
road
25-minute difference, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But
But
yeah.
you're not driving across the lake, you know, so you're not burning gas across the lake.
Well,
but
if
you're
they
still
had a
paying
consumption
you're still
club.
paying for the trip.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm a little sketch on fucking boats, so I think I'll take
Oh,
the
you don't
drive.
like boats?
First time I ever
Let's go on
got.
boats. We've
Not a
been
big
using
fan.
boats for thousands of years.
I like boats in like waters that I can swim in and stuff, but not deep waters. Not
You
like
can
the
swim
lakes.
in the
oceans, and
Michigan lakes. I promise. It's
I
the
mean, you
same
could
type
swim,
of
but you're not
water.
going to get from one side to another.
I have swam in the Michigan lakes, but I haven't gone out to where I cannot see the shore anymore.
Yeah,
It's
when
water
it's
everywhere.
700 feet
And
deep.
and I'm in a fucking car. You know, that makes things a little bit more difficult.
You're
And I
not
don't
in the
really want
car.
to do that.
You get out of the car before you submerge underwater.
If you don't fall asleep on the middle of the way there because you're trying to smoke and while you're going across.
If you don't wake up from your car crashing somehow into the water.
Wait, you guys don't have a fishing rod out the passenger window while you're on this ferry?
No, I don't. I only like fish.
I know you got a
God damn it,
microtech to
Spartan.
get out of the seatbelt and break the window.
Yeah,
You like
I could get
shellfish?
out. But I no, I don't like shellfish.
You don't like anything from the sea? This is why you wanted to be a crab, isn't it?
I am a crab. I am a
I'm
crab.
down
I'm a
to
cancer,
see.
man.
Dude, I watched Finding Nemo
That's my
and Finding
people.
Dory since then, and such
love
good movies.
those movies.
They're such good movies.
They
Shout out to
are.
my 2-year-old and my 2-month-old.
I had shellfish tonight. Becca made well, I already talked about it, the Alfredo.
Yum.
I think I missed that. I was
I'm
kind of came in
convinced-
late.
I'm convinced he didn't like it, so he's just telling me how much.
It's just like-
Hold on. I got to shout out Becca. She made me grilled chicken, pesto, mac and cheese. Oh
I'm
my.
not the only person that she cooks for.
And then the next day, she made me layered mac and cheese wheels. Oh my goodness.
That's a
Sounds
secret.
good.
Don't tell anyone.
That sounds good as hell
Enough.
right there. Where are these mac and cheese wheels, Becca?
He's
gotta get
phenomenal.
Holding out.
Gotta get the wheels and
She
the
got
right
the hook.
cheese.
She got the hook.
I love
She
cooking.
fed Tara well.
Speaking of cheese,
You made us banging food too, though. What are you talking about? What was that thing?
So I made,
grinder,
you guys might remember it from when we went to South Haven. I made the Get a Grilled Cheeses for them.
get a grilled
Oh,
cheese.
those are
That
good.
was so good.
Man,
Yeah.
and the grinder sub. What was that called again? Grinder.
Oh, and then I made the grinder sub too for you.
Ooh.
That was so good. It was all chopped up. It was like a chopped
That was so
chopped
good.
grinder.
I had
Speed
never
of-
made that before except for you guys. So you guys and Yeti have had it.
Moral of the story:
Feed your friends.
I
It's
think it's really good over here.
I love feeding my friends.
Red
It's
is like,
honestly,
no
that
complaints
is,
over here.
in my opinion, that is probably one of the nicest, most genuine things you can do for a person, an individual or a family or whatever it might be, is to feed them and like really give it like a home cooked meal. It's like, it's one thing to
the
buy
weirdest
something for
human
someone.
thing.
No,
Yeah, what kind of weirdness are we talking about now? What the
We were
world
just
revolves
talking
around
about this
food.
in the grow today. It was
I
like
know.
humans are obsessed with food, which is
I
just
know.
energy.
Yeah.
That's how we
Like,
survive. What are you talking
But
about?
it's
yeah, I mean,
No,
it's
it's
something
like-
we have to
Exactly. So,
consume
like,
multiple
see,
times a day.
so
Well,
we
yeah,
were talking, me and
what
Bake
if
were
what if you
talking.
could only plug in one time a month and be done with it? You know, like it's just energy.
That sounds terrible. Why don't you want to enjoy what you eat every day, man? It's
I
so
fed
much
Because
better.
it's,
all
it's,
weekend.
then you gotta poop it out, you gotta pee
I
it
cooked
out.
all weekend.
It's inefficient.
My daughter-in-law. My son fasted
You
today.
better eat the rice
I get up
combo or you're
today
gonna
and
be
I'm like,
dead.
what can I fix you for breakfast? He's like, I'm not eating today. And I was like, what do you mean you're not eating today? And he's like, I fast on Sundays. And I was like, what? He's
That's
like,
cool.
yeah, I've been
That's
fasting
healthy.
on Sundays. And I was like,
Yep.
what? He's like, yeah. And I was like, well, we're all eating, so you can be over there, but we're gonna eat.
Nice.
I have this really big struggle of like wanting to eat the best that I can for like my own health, you know, but I also love food and I love different things and playing with it and eating like just such good
I
food.
feel like if you don't do it in excess, it's okay. Like if it's one time, you like one meal, like the other day when I made you the fried meal that I really felt it's so unhealthy, but I was like, it's one time. It's not like you're eating that unhealthy
Dude, it's
30 days that month, you know? So it's like, I don't know. There has
I don't think
to be
it's.
some
I
give
don't
and
think it's so bad right there. I just think that it's what me and Bake kind of were talking about. Especially we're kind of more specific to the American culture and stuff. It's so food is so woven in as a reward for everything, and then we wonder why people struggle with food.
No,
It's
you're
like
true.
it's like it's treated so much like every single occasion is woven into food.
Well, I mean,
Every
think about it.
single.
When
But at
you're
the end of the day,
when
it's
you're
just
potty
energy
training a child,
and
you know,
nutrition.
you reward them with a candy. If
Yeah.
you know, the child does a good thing, you know, you did a good behavior today. You put your shoes in the right corner. You put your coat on the hanger. I'm going to give you a sucker. So we're very
You're good at the doctor. Here's a sucker. you
Yeah.
know?
But the reason why that's
Sucker.
bad is because our food system is terrible and killing
Yes.
people. It's not like treats or whatever. You know, it can be a healthy treat. You know, you can. It's the food.
More times than not, though, it's going to be not a good treat.
The sucker after leaving the doctor. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Or when you go to the dentist, you get to pick in the little treasure chest to pick what you want, and
I
sometimes
remember
there's
that.
something there.
That's our bullets to band-aid system right there. Spark.
Yeah.
Bullets
You know,
band-aids.
Like the bank.
Absolutely, man.
Sell bullets and sell band-aids.
Like
Go broke.
Exactly. That's job security, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Never go broke.
It's messed up.
What was that? What was that? Anne Right.
Do you want to tell them about your great idea?
But Fagrola gave me a great idea. But
Ooh.
he's not here to
Tell
discuss.
us.
Fagrola's not here to hear it. Can you hear it, Fagrola?
He has to tell everyone, okay, guys. Don't let him
Yep.
get out of it because it was.
But I can't talk about
special.
it because it's a multi-billion-dollar idea, and
oh, then
Oh,
you
this
have
is
to. Yeah, but
exciting.
would it help humans?
not only probably
It was the
Then
most
you have to give it out for free.
the most high thought I've ever heard from
This
him.
is a rational thought, and
I'd
That's
like to hear
that's a
this.
bold statement, Becca. That is a
Becca says
bold
I-
statement.
You say
Most-
Now I'm curious.
I think.
when I talk about it, it makes the most sense ever. Especially Fagroli already mentioned it. He already brought it up. It's a real thing, and I
What?
don't think I should talk about it because somebody's going to steal it.
If you already brought it up, we're just gonna.
Don't-
$1 billion idea.
Maybe hold it for the late sesh.
And,
There you go.
ooh, that might be too long. I'll definitely forget about
What are we making money on?
Yeah, for girly, what's this idea you gave him?
billion.
Yeah, what's
$1 billion idea.
$1 billion idea?
Crypto?
that
Crypto?
not going in
I don't know. I'm taking tabs. What?
I don't know.
Can you give me a hint, Rosemary?
Well, we were talking about cheese, and you were talking about cheese paper, and it hit me, and I thought of this
Cheese
great
paper.
idea, which is cheese paper. Cheese paper. Cheese paper.
What is
So-
cheese paper?
Explain.
So cheese paper, and that
Cheese
is
paper.
parchment paper, preferably like a thin yellowish parchment paper. No branding, of course, nothing like that. But a slice of American cheese just melted to the
I
parchment
love
paper
American.
right there.
Oh, you lost me there.
It's right there.
And that's all, folks.
What is it though? Like,
It's
Cheese paper.
It's nostalgia,
are
motherfucker.
you to write? Are you to write your novel on it?
No,
It's
man.
melted cheese on parchment paper.
It's to eat.
It's to eat your cheese off of the paper. So when
You had to be old enough, I think, when this happened. There was
Right.
commercials and everything for this.
Oh, cheese, dude! I used to get down with the cheese paper before the cheese paper was a thing, and it was like cheese paper was a real thing. The cheese would just be oozing out of the burger, or sometimes the cheese wouldn't even make it on the burger. The cheese would just be side off the burger. And
Yeah, they throw it halfway on.
a lot of cheese on the wrapper of your burger. You know what I mean? So you'd get done with your burger, and you'd go back through, and you'd either pick off the cheese, or the diehards would just go right into the paper, dude, and just start eating cheese off. I was to eat the cheese off the paper, motherfucker. I'd get paper in my teeth and all kinds of shit.
Oh,
definitely
gross.
probably still have fast
Ladies'
food
man.
restaurant paper
So you just
in
selling
my
like one of these things?
body.
You know how cheap you can go?
Well,
you
you
can
can
get
sell
like a pack of American.
10-pack of cheese paper. You could,
just eat it.
That's a good bag of cheese paper.
well, yeah.
Who's
So
your
what's the
target?
idea then?
Who's your
Is you're
target
gonna
demographic
purposely
for this?
you're gonna purposely do this then?
Well,
Put cheese on
American
parchment?
That cheese was
on
good.
paper to sell.
The
That's
American
idea.
cheese.
Why wouldn't I just buy the pack of American that's already in plastic?
Well, it's in plastic
slices.
for one. For one, it's in plastic. For two, it's not melted to paper.
And
That-
3, it's a whole slice. We don't want a whole
Does the,
slice.
does the paper help?
So it's just
it's
crumbs?
not just crumbs of cheese like you used to get back in the day. This is the whole slice of cheese.
How much?
Can we Google this? Someone like pull up a
Well,
like a
think about
Burger
it.
King
I'm not
commercial or
Googling it
something?
because
Come on,
I
man.
have
They use like half as much cheese. You know, the cheese is like
Cheese,
by
bacon.
volume,
Oh
like the
yeah,
same
well,
size.
that's why we have a McDouble now and not a double
but
cheeseburger.
why wouldn't you just make
'cause they
like a
got rid of
cheese
one of the
stick?
slices of cheese.
It makes no sense. That's
It
why.
makes
It's
tons of
garbage. This is why there was a
No,
downfall of cheese.
That's
paper.
like a billion Dogecoin worth idea. And Dogecoin is worthless right now. So.
in the 90s. It
You know,
was,
the
yes.
older I've got, I can't eat cheese the way I used to. So I don't know if I'm becoming lactose intolerant or what, but
We had some cheese conies today.
oh God, we had some damn cheese conies in Cincinnati today, and that was not worth it. I was so mad. I was so excited to get them. So excited. We both looked at each other.
Soggy buns.
We're like,
and
what do we
fun.
want from Cincinnati before we leave? And we're like, cheese conies, exactly at the same time. And I was like, I want mine with everything on it. He's like, okay, me too. And then we get them, and the buns were just like soft. You could, I mean, I Paul handed it, and I was like, just trying to eat it. I felt like, what the fuck is this shit? I literally had a whole paw of damn cheese coney hot dog bun like that. I was
That's
like,
No.
where did you get it from? Because that's like a staple. In, oh, you didn't go to
No.
Skyline, huh?
Coney was invented here.
no, it
I wanted
wasn't.
to go to Camp Washington. Is where it's at.
We didn't
Get out of here. It's Rudy's.
We
Rudy's
never
is
made it on time
hot.
if we
Rudy's
went to
is
guys
Camp
don't
trash.
know.
Yo, I got
Rudy's was a shop.
news for
I
you,
love this.
Spartan. I got news for you. Rudy's doesn't get a good review if you don't like olives.
Skyline
Well, I
had
don't care.
for me.
I
and it
like
gets-
olives, so what does that
Oh.
matter?
I think you
I
even
knew
told
we
me
were
that
gonna
if they
drive,
didn't have
so
the
I
olive
needed
burger, the
people's
burger
spot.
isn't even that good. Somebody
Right,
told
but
me.
the olive burger is really good, and I love it.
So I'm
Troy
just
gets that
saying, like,
damn
you can
olive
make your own
burger.
burger, put
Gross.
olives on it, and it'd be the same. It's not like they make a
Wait,
well-made
how can
burger.
I
Skyline
be-
chili. I thought it was like chili on a hot dog, like a chili dog.
Up north.
I have never heard of an olive burger till we went to Michigan.
Well,
I
I've
can
never
I-
heard of it until I joined the show, but
you ever
how
heard of a,
can I not, how can I not be
guacamole
Spartan
burger?
grown and like not like olives? Come on, fucking olives are Greek, man.
What the-
God, that makes me nasty right
You're
now.
Greek and you
I'm
don't
Greek
like
and I
olives.
hate
that
olives.
makes me nasty
yeah, and I'm
right
Italian and I
now.
hate
How
olives.
dare you? How dare you?
Okay, this is the problem I have with
How about olive oil?
too salty.
Delicious. Use it in every meal.
Too salty?
you.
That's not even a
What's the
word.
word?
He knows what's up.
Too salty is not even a thing.
You know what else?
Doesn't
What?
exist.
Shut up.
What doesn't exist?
Too salty. He says too salty.
I know. She's just making weird excuses now.
You gotta enjoy life. Salt's the
Really, I
best.
do not like olives because they are so salty. I
Oh.
don't like salt.
Especially the green ones.
It's just
What? That's what this olive burger has, green olives on it.
Uh,
Oh, it's so
Ooh,
good.
it's killing me.
God, you
Yeah.
guys don't know what's good for you.
I hear that so
stuff
much.
some blue
Man, that's
cheese in
not
it,
what-
and I'm still
No,
not gonna
no
eat
blue
it.
cheese. No blue cheese.
Yeah, I
There's no
don't
way
do.
you can dress up an olive to make it delicious. That's not
do have
okay.
homemade
They just
ice
have
cream.
sliced green olives in mayonnaise, and that's what tops the hamburger.
Oh, stop it! You're ruining
it's
my life
so-
right now.
It's so fucking
Yeah.
good.
What's baked trimming on? I'd rather see what he's talking trimming on than talk about the damn olives.
I'm still
And
just
mayonnaise?
disco
What the
fries.
fuck?
Ooh, and mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is nasty too. Ugh.
You guys don't know what's good for you, man.
Oh
I
God,
love
We're talking
smell-
about mayonnaise.
mayonnaise
I think I'll
stinks.
stick to what I
Ugh.
know.
Mayonnaise is it's just butter with milk.
We can
No.
make
Or eggs
Ah,
eggs
eggs,
with milk.
yeah.
eggs,
It's
oil.
eggs. It's eggs.
Eggs
Yeah.
No milk.
I hate eggs.
Damn it.
Ugh.
You know how many?
It's all dairy.
Oh my god, dude! So
Some
many
cultured
I'm
cultured
grossed
mayonnaise.
out.
So many people.
Way out. I'm way grossed out
Well,
right now.
Well, okay, I blame the food pyramid for this for one, and I blame it for a lot of other things. Food pyramid for this because I would go to, and you couldn't say that you're lactose intolerant because people wouldn't really figure that out. You couldn't say that you had like dairy restrictions. You'd have to like literally say that you have like a dairy allergy for like people to like kind of like take anything serious. And and so I would ask for mayonnaise, and they'd be like, "Well, that has dairy in it." Doesn't though, and like I've had people like refuse to give me mayonnaise because of like no, like it's
No, sir.
not
You
dairy,
cannot have mayonnaise.
not dairy. You know what I mean? And it's just eggs and oil. Maybe some,
Yeah, eggs and oil.
maybe some.
No, it's eggs and milk.
In which case, and I would say, well, if there is cross contamination milk, I don't want it anyway. If it has milk in the ingredients, I don't want it anyway. So if that's the case, but generally mayonnaise is only eggs and oil. But
Oh.
because it's lumped,
Just egg whites usually. They don't use the yolks.
yeah, because for some reason I don't know. I think it's because it's white or something. And I don't know if somehow I think that the eggs and the milk being together. Eggs for some reason are in like the dairy category on the food pyramid, and it doesn't make sense, and so I think that that's very confusing. Eggs,
Yeah, that is weird.
dairy, and I think a lot of people think that eggs are dairy
Yeah.
when they're not, and it's dairy is specifically milk from a cow and the products thereof that come from that.
Yes.
I think most people know, but it's not eggs, right?
That's why I'm confused by these farmers. I guess I'll use air quotes. Are so disgusted by mayonnaise. I mean, what the fuck? They're just eggs, man.
Yeah,
I think
egg
I
whites.
don't like mayo, but I don't like the flavor. I think it's like it's in my head. Like,
Texture.
Yeah,
Have you ever
flavor.
put it on a grilled
To me, it's
cheese?
the flavor and the smell.
No, but I've had it on pizza and it's
Not about
amazing.
the
Oh, stop, dude! Stop!
Yeah,
Who invited him?
So no pizza sauce. It's called a
I'm
BLT
gonna
pizza.
say, the
So no
BLT
tomato sauce. The regular pizza dough, tomato, and then you do bacon,
Mayonnaise and then
lettuce,
cheese.
mayonnaise.
bacon, lettuce, tomato, and then you just
BLT,
drizzle some of
baby.
that on there and you bake it a little bit.
I've
of
actually
onion.
had that before, and it is delicious.
Yeah.
But I have to wipe that from my memory that white sauce layer is mayonnaise.
A lot
I
of
just
chefs
can't.
put mayonnaise on the
Can we
outside of
say
the
that
I thought you were getting excited
So-
this whole time. You don't like mayonnaise, huh?
No, I think it's a very like chefs use that. They like roast their like steaks and stuff in it, but I don't care for it myself. It does a very good job. I see it looks good. It's got good texture, but not
It's eggs and oil. What's wrong with it?
Well, speaking of eggs, guys,
Oh, my God.
I sold out of eggs before I sold out of anything but lime skunk this weekend.
That was awesome, dude. I'm
Yeah.
glad. Those were some
Awesome.
nice looking eggs.
Even,
I have a dozen and a half in my fridge. I'd probably bought some from you.
oh, I feel you, dude. I get you. Next time, I don't even know what they're.
He'll
People
always
don't
buy
balk at the pricing, and that's like I'm like I haven't looked at the price of eggs in a store in like 2 years, so I don't even know what they're charging. I'm like, I
I
looked at
do.
my wife and I'm like, are
I've
they
only
charging like
looked because
$12 a dozen? Are we missing out here? You know?
No, not 12. Jesus.
No, I know, but
$7.68 at Walmart.
what?
And I'm just kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I went there just to be curious, and I was buying the few things.
Really?
It was Walmart brand.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
Like the
Because
Great value?
hold on.
yeah, right.
Walmart brand is that price, and the organic brand for 12 is the exact same price, maybe 10 cents less.
Oh, weird.
Huh.
So I was really, really surprised by that. I could not believe that regular eggs. I've never ever bought regular eggs at that price before, ever. Only organic eggs.
I saw somebody this weekend using a rolling chicken coop. It was pretty sweet.
Those
The yard.
strainers. I've been
Yep.
thinking about those a
Chicken
lot,
tractor.
man.
rolling. You move around the yard.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so just
Yep.
you basically just spread the compost around
Mhm.
that's awesome, dude. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
One of the people at Camp Compost
Pasteurizing them.
last year was talking about that. I don't remember his name. Do you remember Moon
He
something?
was awesome.
Right,
He
right.
Do you remember who? There you go. Had a chicken compost that he would move around, kind of thing, spreading the wealth. I felt like in his yard.
So
Yeah.
so you have free range chickens, which are mostly known, and that's typically if you give each chicken roughly 10 square feet of roaming space.
But
So
that can be inside.
that can be
pasture raised, I think, is our technical term.
pasture raised. Pasture raised is now when you move your chickens and you leave them in those wheeled chicken tractors, and you move them around your pasture on a chicken tractor, and so their main source
They're
of
not
food-
free range unless they're
Can you have
open to move completely. Then
No, according to the USDA, free range is only 10 square feet.
Yeah, so it's actually more restricted. So when you see free range
wow.
marketed, it's bullshit. It's kind of like, oh,
Very
we're all
bullshit.
natural. What this doesn't
Right.
mean organic, doesn't mean anything. It's a
Okay.
marketing term.
Big warehouse full of birds.
Right.
Yeah.
can you have chickens without a fence?
But they eat,
Yeah.
but they get
Yeah.
10 square
That's-
feet. They're not
Fenceless?
asked to be. You know, they're 10 square feet. They get a little bit of roaming space. They can move around, but it's not freedom in a field. Neither is free range either, because free range can technically be in a chicken tractor. Now, if you have free open range, you know, I don't know if that's a term, but
it's not, man. There's not a term for what
There's
we're
not a
doing.
term. There's
Yeah.
also
Don't-
not a
don't
term
have like a
for
grass-fed
free
equivalent.
range.
Yeah, right.
That's
Like
the
no, because people keep adopting the terms and taking them from like people
Right.
like us that are actually providing, a craft.
Similarly
product,
with
right?
organic, and now if you're
Mhm.
building soil, you can no longer call it organic because you're not USDA certified organic. Now you have to call it regenerative, but now USDA is taking the term regenerative as well, so you can't be regenerative either. Now you have to be either better than organic or all natural or something like that, which you
Natural
don't
is
get to
missing.
use any of those type of wording, and most
So
people
dumb.
assume natural as cyanide being natural, and so you get
Yeah,
these skeptics
true.
that start arguing with you about linguistics, and it's it makes all sense. So you have to just say, well, we're soil building, and we're using non-invasive products or species, and you have to just now have this huge conversation in order to market or brand yourself. So it's an uphill
I don't know, man.
battle, but
I think at
nonetheless,
the price point for eggs, it's not worth even the conversation with somebody like that. I just like move on.
Yeah. $30 for the
100%.
eggs I sold. It was
100%.
enough to buy a bag and a half of feed. Like
Here's the deal: unless if you get to the point to where you're selling that much to everybody, you're no longer doing things at those soil building scales. You know what I
I
mean?
think once you get a big enough flock, you should look into sources that you could just, a source that you could drop off every week at the local whatever.
it's a restaurant. Every single day you should be dropping off to a local diner. If you've got, here's my thing: if you got 50 or more chickens, you should be laying hens. Let's say you get 4 dozen. Let's maybe call it 6 dozen a day, because it's a diner is going to use a lot. They're going to use a lot more than you think they're going to use.
Yeah.
If you could provide, let's call it 6 dozen eggs a day to a local shop, you're in a commercial industry now, and congratulations. Now you've got a product that is marketable, and it's a cool thing to do. But I'm telling you, by the time you get 20, you're going to have 100 real quick. It's a very addictive thing. And if you got the property and the means to do it, you're going to probably do it. We're not anywhere near that yet. We've got 21. And, right now, not even all of them are laying. So we're only getting a dozen a day. But hey, like in the last week, we only ate a dozen eggs and we didn't give any away because we knew we're going to this Michigan Gems and Genetics. So 6 out of the 7 dozen eggs a day we saved and we brought to Gems and Genetics. And a variety of people got some. Blue Kiss got some. And even one of the vendors next to me bought 2 dozen because he's like, he grew up in the country or like in the, rural area rural area. And he's like,
me too.
He's like, dude, he's looking for feathers on the eggs. He's like, there's no feathers on these. I go, oh, my wife washed them. Dude. He's like, oh, the next time I'll bring you the ones with the feathers on them.
Yeah, you can tell just by looking at them. You're like, those are some regular fucking chicken eggs. These haven't been processed or bleached or any of that bullshit.
Yeah, they're blue and they're brown and they're white and they're light brown and they're tan and they're, Terrace, tell us what you got going on. This looks ready to go.
I did not want to interrupt you. I was just wanting to show everybody what's going on. Right here is the lime alien haze that I was telling everybody about. Got the damn seeds in it, but fucking chunky monkey. I mean,
girl.
I cannot complain about this. So it's like, okay, seeds, whatever. Then we have from Kyle Breeder right here, the New England Hazy Kush. I got the chems right back here. Chunky monkeys. And then we've got all of my meatheads right here. All of those on the back side. And just so you know, we've been away for the weekend, so they need water. That's why everybody's looking a little grumpy right now.
Is that what it is? I didn't know if it was just too much light or they were just underwater because everything else looks really good.
No,
I mean, like in terms of the families are, practically praying at this stage.
Yeah, we've been away since Friday and we left everybody on autopilot. So we got a storm shadow right here. If you can see that. And then we come in with our motherfucking Jones all along this side. And oh my gosh, this is the sugar cone from Chiba Hawk right here. Chonka.
Yeah, man.
I got another New England Hazy Kush on the far side that was getting light leak, and so it's re-vegging right now, so it looks kind of squirrely. So it's doing what it's doing. So it happens, learning as we go. But yeah, this is.
What is the droopy one, the real tall one? I mean, because that's what I've noticed. It's the tallest one out of all of them. Those might be.
Nope, it's just the meatheads that are looking like this, and I think they just need to be fed.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody else.
But look at gosh, there's so much volume in this room, Tara.
I know, and I'm trying. That's like, there is a ton of volume here.
Heck yeah.
That's a lot of trimming right there. A lot of trimming.
Yeah,
nothing she can't handle though. Let's be real.
In a couple days, clear everybody out, get a good strip on everybody, but mostly this side right here is getting washed. From here over is getting washed. The sugar cone right there is going to get washed, and everybody else is going to flour.
How much fresh frozen you taking there?
From that side on goes to fresh frozen along with the sugar cone.
And it's all going to solventless, or is there any BHO in the future here?
We're getting frozen at this point because I know. Okay, so here's my thing. I got the chem cookies, and I don't know what the meatheads are going to do. I have no clue, none. But I know what that sugar cone will do. And then I have runts right here. The motherfucking Jones are runts. And so I'm not really too sure, honestly. I don't know what's going to happen with a lot of them. So I'm kind of like unsure really what to do with everybody.
Hey, all I'm going to say is if you can put 1,600 grams of fresh frozen together for me, I'll be a happy fella.
I have definitely 16 to 18. I definitely have 1,800 grams for you. Definitely. But I'm kind of curious what this storm shadow would do. Dankman Dan has not washed it yet, as far as I know. And
I like Storm Shadow. That's a nice one.
I mean, it's so. Just right there, my hands are sticking together. So
super slick. What's the profile like on that one?
It's citrusy. It's lemon lime. It's It's like citrique on a like milder level.
Yeah, because those families on it are super like long and fingery, like
Definitely.
That's something that's
Sarah.
it looks like up my alley.
This lime alien haze right here.
Tara,
Little Pete's. This is so nice.
Tara, how come you don't have fucking grow glasses on? You just got your regular glasses on right now in there.
Oh, because I came up here. Hush! Don't bash on me.
Even I have grow
Hey,
glasses on right now.
I'm concerned about your eyes, Tara.
I know I'm bad, but I get excited and I want to show everybody.
No, I
But
appreciate
man,
you showing your grow, but I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Look at the colors on these. I mean, some of these. Hold on, let me come
I
around
like
the
that
other
one
side
right there in
to
the
show
front. What
you
was that one in the
Yeah,
front?
that was like pink and purple and
I know it's like pink and purple. This is the motherfucking Jones. This is a
Nice.
runts line.
Okay.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna come around here, and then this is my plant that re-vegged because we have a closet right here, and it was not sealed up well, and it's recovering. It's starting to come back, so you can see it's not like the best.
yeah, it just looks a little
Show
elongated.
it. I've never seen that, Tara. Can you show it?
It's a Kush though, and I don't know much about a Kush. So this is a little unique to me. But the other plant that I have on the opposite side is doing phenomenal. So this is a poor representation, I feel. But then I slide in on the meatheads with the cherry Afghanis right here from Caribou Heart. And look at the colors on these are like pinks, purples. I don't know. It's beautiful. I'm really, really happy with it.
Everything looks great.
But the other
Are you gonna
thing is,
mix them when you wash them?
Yes, I would like to wash this one right here, just because I don't know what it's going to do. So this is the one I picked to wash, and the other ones are going to go to flower.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Man,
yeah,
that real tall one in the center. Oh,
Yeah,
it
right
just looks
here.
so good. It's so
know.
much weight. It's a baseball bat right there.
It's nice. I can't explain how much I'm really happy with this stuff. And here's my chems over here. They really chunked up well. I really can't complain about this at all.
Nice.
But the other thing is, though, is everybody, these guys might, I just felt my pots because I'm in soil, and I'm not that light after just being away since Friday. These guys just might not just be, it might be light. They might be coming to the end and just needing to just be toning it down. I don't know.
Huh.
I think it's just because they're putting on so much weight right now. They're kind of using everything they got. Honestly, that's what it looks like to me. I've grown a lot of hazy type looking spear plants, whatever you want to call them. It might. I mean, the underwatering would be my first guess. So that'd be the first thing I'd check, especially if you were
still
away.
Kind of heavy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but
I wonder if it's a
going
pH
into
thing.
week 9.
We were talking about this at work.
Everybody isn't going to be still feeding. Everybody's kind of slacking as it is because it's week 9 going into.
I was gonna say at the end of flower, everything can literally shut off.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was week 9. Yeah, they're shutting down.
Tara, did you just hit your hand on the fan too?
Where's your fan trap?
Why you gonna
That's
call it out
also
like
a violation.
Where's your
Come on, Tara, get out of there before you hurt yourself. What are you doing?
At least she's got her sort of eye protection on. No, seriously, protect your eyes, guys. These lights get
for real. Those
crazy.
lights are no joke.
And honestly, it's we're still stuck on the blank screen of Tara, I think here, Baked. But
oh yeah, let me
yeah. So one of the things, a big thing about protecting your eyes, guys, isn't just from the lights and from the dust particles and trichomes that can get in there and really irritate you, but it's protecting your eyes from things like, in my case, especially outdoors, bamboo stakes. I mean, people have taken their eyes out with those things. Yeah, and it's just a scary situation. You really, especially if you're like up on a ladder or something, guys, like, please just be wearing eye protection, if nothing else. I mean, if you want to garden naked, that's sweet, but wear eye protection, like.
Yeah, don't learn from me. I'm bad.
Might want to wear a jock strap as well, I guess, if that's the case. Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking maybe like something that covered the back end is more.
I suppose. Yeah.
potentially worrisome with the bamboo stakes, but depends on how up on the ladder you're getting, I guess.
The
Ladder.
Sometimes
I almost
Wow.
the other
when
day,
I was
I was
in
reaching
Creek,
down-
I'd get myself in the eye when we had stakes on plants, and I have glasses on, but still, you still get it.
Yeah, I've done that. I
I
have my
had-
glasses on, but I still hit it, and it's
No,
surprising.
I do have sunglasses to wear. They're just out the truck.
I have
do-
some that I've like wiggled, broken in half, so that I could, have a couple shorter stakes, and those are just sitting in the ground out back. And I went to go pick up some sticks, and I just bent down and pick up a stick, a rock, fucking rocks around a tree, and sure enough, dude, I bent down and I looked right next to me, and I was like, oh my god, and this thing had like two like points coming out the sides of where it was like wiggle bent, and I was like, this is fucking crazy.
And of course, they're like green; they blend in with the ground, or you know what I mean. Like,
I barely see them. Yeah.
yeah.
Take those off the ground.
Just be careful, guys. It's I've caught myself on those. That and scissors. Like, I guess really the most damage I do to myself in terms of like gardening, outside of like being very careful with those stakes, because that terrifies me, is I always get myself lollipopping. I'll be like working through a plant, and I'm like on the other side of the stem, and I got gloves on, of course, maybe even some like farmer's armor sleeves or something, like like a hoodie on or something, protecting my arms. But I'll still I'll go to trim a branch, and I'll like maybe be holding it or something, and I'll just get the little point of and it'll go right through your glove. Oh my gosh. And all of a sudden you look, and the inside of your glove is just red, and you're like, okay, it's Band-Aid time. Time to go.
See inside your finger.
Oh, well, you saw inside my leg last week.
I thought I got myself the other day when I was harvesting, and I looked at my glove, and I was like, oh, and I started pushing and pushing and pushing. I was like, well, didn't do it. Didn't break skin, so we're good.
Nice.
How is that leg healing for goalie?
7 stitches were still good. It's I'm just keeping it covered. I think I got about another week until I get the stitches out, but
it's pretty gnarly looking though. I mean, the stitches are still in there. It's fucking pretty good gash.
Yeah, it was gross. It was rough. I gotta order some more Quick Clot. No, hey, shout out to Quick Clot. This is that like $18 bandage that I slapped on my leg. It's one of those. It's one of those things that you like. It's more for use of like if you can't stop the bleeding and helps stop it. I can't pronounce the chemical that it's laced with that helps stop bleeding, but I'll tell you what, man, in a panic where I thought like I sliced open an artery or something, just because I'm not educated enough to know where exactly that is on my leg. I threw that on there and an Israeli bandage, and it stopped pretty quickly. So
what's a major muscle right there? Just walking is gonna fucking pump water, pump fluid through there and stuff. So I'd be concerned just trying to move with that.
The tension is the big thing. So I came home and immediately tried to finish that screen, and I bent down on my knee, and I'm like, oh, that's warm, and my whole shorts, like everything, my whole leg was covered in blood. And then I didn't pop any stitches or anything, but it was like enough tension to open it up. I'm like, okay, I actually gotta chill. The doctor said to chill.
Well, I just weighed the disco fries.
You have to listen.
It was 170 grams from
nice.
one plant.
I'm liking the
that's
high on
pretty
that,
good.
dude. I just finished that nug that you gifted me, man. That's fucking nice.
Yeah, nice.
So wait,
Can I?
Disco fries are not like French fries.
Nope.
It honestly has kind of some French fry terp to it to me. I feel like at the end it's like a French fry terp like that.
That's good.
Sorry, I missed that. Did you say you got 170 grams off of one plant after you cut it off from the branches?
It's fully trimmed up, ready to go.
That's trimmed and ready to go.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Vendable
Like
products.
6 ounces. That's pretty good.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
How much of a space under a light are we talking? Like, let's break it down in terms of maybe like grams
So
per
like
watt, grams per hour.
two. So it's 2 lights, but one's 600 watts, one's like 230 or whatever.
And how much of these
Do-it-yourself
830 watts are we taking up with this one plant?
There's at least 6 plants on the tray. So yeah, that's 1 out of 6.
So about 110, we'll call it watts, maybe tops.
Yep.
Not including cross lighting, but we don't care about that. That's an added benefit. So let's just round it down to 100 watts per that one plant. So you're getting 170, so 1.7 grams per watt. That's solid, man.
Yeah, that one was an easy grower. I told Spartan, and the stems were thick. Didn't have to hold it up. If I had a trellis, but it didn't touch it.
I got called
rely on
out.
it.
I got called out on my story I posted after I got home
Gunshot
last night.
wounds.
No.
Oh.
No. I posted a story last night of my flower room, and it was just the it's probably gone by now, but it was just all lime skunk and
Yeah.
clementine.
Yeah.
And I had multiple people being like, hey, like, no scrog gang, like, where's your scrog at? No trellis, what are you doing? You know? And I just haven't gotten to it yet. I know I need it. I know it's going to be a thing, and I'm not jabbing, the stakes in there at this point, especially, protect my eyes and everything. But actually went in there tonight, and I didn't post it, but I put up a trellis net, and want to be like, all right, that's you guys. Yeah, put up a trellis net. All right, like, thank you for calling me out because I
How
needed to
far
get
are
it
you
done.
in? Are you like 5 weeks in or something?
It's a perpetual, so it's everywhere from like literally 5 days to probably
That's
5
hard.
weeks.
Yeah, it's
Now
hard
you
to
gotta
judge
do it.
when to do it, anyways.
And it's 4 lights worth, so it's two runs of scrog net.
Bro, you gotta do a story now. Then you got the hashtag fucking hashtag scrog gang.
Yeah.
I'm a late scrogger. I'm
Oh,
a very
yeah.
late scrogger.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, guys.
That's the end of the show.
Shit, you're right. Well, get
Yeah, I
the
didn't
tips
realize
next
it.
time on the
Yeah,
late
save it
session
for the
why
late
I
session.
scrog my tables a lot
Oh.
earlier than I do my ground plants.
Well,
Cheers,
yeah,
everybody.
thanks, chat. We'll see you tomorrow.
Cheers, chat.
Wrap it up.